disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He's just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lobito! Got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need BDA boxing.
Welcome everybody to another BD Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. This is your good friend Mr. BDA, and I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one, fellas. We've got a fantastic episode for everybody. Heel? Yeah, well, there's heels and there's heroes and there's, the crowd favorite and so on and so forth. So why not? Let me cover that one up real quick. Fellas, another Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia preview show. This time we're taking calls. I want to take down as many predictions as possible because this is a big fight that deserves this type of big fight treatment, all right? So before we get down to the fun, let's get the business out of the way. You guys know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels our way, you're certainly welcome to do so with the super chat feature. It's always better if you join the membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck. But the most important thing, fellas, is that you continue to like, subscribe, spread that BDA gospel. All right, fellas? Speaking of the fellas out there, shout out to Eparcua, Super Anderson Aldo, SSC in the house. Shout out to SSC. Never Sobers in there as well. What's up to him? Alfredo Contreras, Joseph N, Aaron Kuko, Super Sardonic, Team Batman Boxing. Let me scroll up here and see who else I can find. Senpai Leo. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Quags, Punchy, Zero Cool. Who else? Elian Rodriguez and many more people to come. I'm sure, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Freezing Boxing, Soul Passive Live. Everybody, thank you for joining us, fellas. We're going to be opening up the phone lines very, very soon. So stay tuned for that because I do want to get predictions. In fact, let me go. Where do I get the predictions? No, that's my news. Hold on a second. Let me switch the screen here. How do I switch this again? There we go. That's not it. How come I can't see the predictions? Oh, okay, here we go. Give me 2 seconds here. Because, hey, by the way, I've heard some people saying, this isn't a big fight, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, well, let's make it big. Why not? I look at it as big as I get into the argument every night with my wife. That's not big, BDA. I go, you're looking at it the wrong way, honey. What I gotta do here? That's why I roofie women. That way they see whatever I tell them to see. MK Ultra style. All right, so here we have the predictions. Hopefully we can fill this one up more before the fight. As you can see here, we got Free Smoke, The Quags, Earl, E-Dog, Wad Rapid, Zero Cool, Black Chibi, Joe, and up here at the top, you've got the regular panelists. I changed my prediction, by the way, fellas. The start of the week, I went with a big old risk because risks often pay dividends. And I had picked Ryan Garcia by knockout. And then I said, you know what? I think that's a little bit of a stretch even for me here. I'm gonna go by Ryan Garcia by decision. But it's a close one, fellas. It is a close one. Wouldn't be surprised if Tank Davis knocks him out with one punch. Wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Garcia gets frustrated early on and can't land cleanly and sort of fucks up in there. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Tank Davis struggling with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, like I said, in the last couple of fights, he's been fighting coming forward, really putting the pressure on. And so people tend to forget that he can box from the outside. So there's that aspect that we gotta look at as well. Let me open up the phone lines from the get-go here, fellas. I'm gonna open them up. Like I said, it's more of a call-in show. Got the phone number right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. If any of the panelists are listening and you want to jump on, you're certainly welcome to do so. But just remember that this is it's a call-in show, so we're going to be taking calls right off the bat. Let me just open up the phone lines here. This can sometimes take a bit of time here, and I don't like opening them up before starting the show because they tend to mess with the lines. Shout out to Plutonium Lodge for his contribution to the Super Chat. Hold on a second, let me mute this. Shout out to him for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, salute BDA Ryan by knockout. Whoa, by a vicious Mexican left hook to the temple, round 9. Wowee. That is a big prediction right there. Hold on a second, let me put it up on the screen here. There we go. Plutonium Loach says, Ryan Garcia by vicious Mexican left hook to the temple, round 9. I'm going to write that one down. Hold on a second. Let's go to the prediction page right here. And we're going to see Plutonium Loach. I'm glad Plutonium kept that comment that he no bad language. Because usually he tends to come up with some weird stuff in there. Plutonium Loach kept keeping it clean here. I like it. He says, Ryan Garcia. Hold on a second. Ryan Garcia, Mexican left hook to the temple, round 9. There we go. Round 8. Round 9. There we go. In case anybody else wants to call in, I am going to be taking down predictions like this. So at any time anybody calls in, this is the way we're going to do it. Phone numbers 1-657-383-1147 is right there in the middle portion of your screen. And from what I can see, we already got calls. We already got phone calls. Let me just see if everything's working out here. I got to double check something. By the way, did you guys see the Wayne? Tank Davis was MIA. And Ryan Garcia looked okay in terms of the weight. So it's going to be interesting, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the day of the weigh-in. You know, it's easy to look good during fight week, but are you gonna once he actually has to drain down and squeeze into that 136-pound limit, can he look good as well there? We'll see. We'll see. All right, phone lines are open. Let's go to 604. Hold on a second. 604, you on the air. 604, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, 604? What's on your mind?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna change my prediction. I think you have me down for like a wide points. Change it to like a close points decision for Ryan.
Wait a minute. Who is this? First of all,
Friesen.
Okay, Friesen. Why do you want to change it to? You said.
The close points decision or like a split decision type shit.
For Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, because I think Ryan should win a UD, but since it's like PBC and shit, they're gonna make it close, probably for like a rematch or some shit. But you know.
So you're still picking Ryan.
That's my new prediction.
You're still picking Ryan Garcia, but you're saying it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think Ryan's gonna win like 8-9 rounds. But I think they're just because it's PBC and they're going to want a rematch. So I feel like they're going to make it a close decision, maybe even a draw. But yeah, I got Ryan close on points, like some Fury Wilder 1 type, not the same thing, but like a decision like Fury Wilder 1. You know what I mean?
So you think he's actually gonna? Would you go as far as saying that he's gonna school Tank Davis?
Honestly, yeah. I think he's going to do kind of like what Barrios did. At least that's what his game plan should be. I think he definitely is able to. As I said, he just got to use that jab and like use his straight shots to keep his range and cut off the ring. If he's had a good camp with Goosen, I think he can definitely do that. But yeah, I think he'll probably win a good amount of rounds, like 8 or 9 rounds. But yeah, since it's PBC and they're all a bunch of they're going to have those judges. They're probably going to make it close for a rematch. So that's
interesting.
My new
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been going around calling those who are picking Ryan Garcia crazy. I mean, I'm not confident in the pick. I think since both guys hit very, very hard, this could go either way. How confident if you had to give a percentage, how confident are you in your pick?
Yeah, I've never been like, I'm like 60%. I'd put it at that. It's because that my prediction's based on if Ryan's fixed up some things in this camp, but I'm not like 100% confident that he has. It's just, I think that's what he has been doing, so I think he'll be able to fight with that stuff. But if he's had a shitty camp and he goes back to his same ways and just throwing punches with his chin in the air, then yeah, I'll be picking Tank. But I feel like I just feel like Ryan's kind of fixed up his game a little bit.
Well, we shall see. We shall see indeed after the fight. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good one. Well, shout out to you, Freezing. Thanks for calling in. And
thanks for having me on.
Thank you, man. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah,
that was Freezing. Peace. That was Freezing Boxing, going with Ryan Garcia by close decision, even though he feels it's going to be a clear-cut win for him. But he says the PBC, something's going to happen with the PBC. There's going to be some shenanigans, some hijinks, and some shadow play going on. I see we got the Jim Marino, we got Gonzalo, and we got Chief dropping by. Fellas, we're taking phone calls right now. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I want to just...
Doing good, video.
Fantastic.
Salute to the panel.
Salute to everybody. Salute. Listen, before I continue on here with the phone calls, I don't know if you guys saw, but Tank Davis was MIA from the open workout today. What would you guys make of that?
Hey, at least he didn't roll in a wheelchair like he went to go watch that baseball game or something.
That's an excellent
Super Bowl.
Jimmy, what do you think about that, Jimmy? Is that just Tank Davis just not giving a care?
Is it in a different? Is it in a different city from where his camp is normally held?
Well, it was in Las Vegas. It's fight week. Both guys are already in Las Vegas.
So he probably he's been seen in Vegas. So it wasn't like he was flying in that morning to be there.
Exactly. So what do you make of it?
Nothing good. I mean, what can you? I mean, he's either struggling, he's too weak, and he knew he was going to look. I personally, when I see him in something like that, he's in town, he's not drinking or partying. I doubt he's fucking shacked up with a chick. So it comes down to the problem, probably what it is. He's getting down at his age with what he drinks, how he abuses the body when he's not fighting. Getting down at 135 when you walk around at 175 is ugly. And he's probably feeling weak as fuck right now because he's not going to carb load until Friday. So he knew he was going to look so shitty, like, lethargic. He probably didn't want to do it. Because, I mean, again, that's just a guess, but what do you think?
I don't know. Let me get to...
I'm sorry.
Chief wants to chime in. No, go ahead. That's all I was going to get to you. Yeah.
It's a logical thing to say based off of what Jimmy and I have been saying about his weight is almost like that Chuckawonga song. His weight goes down, then it goes up again. It changes every single day. But I mean, now that joke aside, I don't think much of it. It was a public workout. Mayweather missed those all the time. Mayweather stayed in better shape, don't get me wrong. But public workouts is close to the fighter publicity stunts. There are chances for you to mix with the public, which he doesn't do because he's shy. When I mean shy, he's not an extrovert. He's not an extrovert. He's an introvert. He doesn't like being out there. He may be with his friends. He may be an extrovert. But when it comes down to the public, he's not very big with being cozy with the reporters and being extravagant and drawing people in by his personality. So I don't read into it very much. Jimmy could be right that he didn't want to show any weakness. That's something I didn't think about, but I'm not reading into it anymore. The fact that he just didn't show up to a publicity stunt.
Well, listen, Jimmy's been saying. Well, go ahead, Jimmy. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, but here's the problem, though. These open workouts are a big deal. They got to set up a ring. I mean, I don't know if Garcia showed up for his, but like Showtime pays for that. You know what I mean? And they got to get pulled in permits, and then they put out press releases and shit, and people who are in will fly in early for that to see them, because a lot of times you get pictures after them. So it's just not a smart thing to do. It's kind of like a finger to his fans. And if I was fucking Steven Espinoza, I wouldn't be happy about it either. But that's just it. I just wanted to throw that in too.
Yeah, it seems to me like Tank Davis walks to the beat of his own drum. Like he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Like it's like with the press conference, the first one he showed up late. I think both of them actually showed up late. Now I didn't think about that he was gonna look that awful. The first thing that came to my mind was he's just doesn't feel up for it. But now that you mention it, you're right. You've been mentioning in other shows that he's not exactly the most physically defined fighter out there, in terms of muscle definition. Then, like you said, he's not having an easy time making 135 either. He's a short dude, but he's stocky. He probably said, fuck it, I don't want to show up and look bad in there. Now, I just want to show the other side of that coin. If he looks bad in the open workout, it's a bad sign. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to lose. Joshua looked awful in I think it was in the first fight against Usyk in the open workout, or the second, I forget which one. And yet he performed, he lost, but he didn't perform as if he was, wagering or anything. So it could go both ways, but it's an interesting observation nonetheless. I do want to go to Paper Tiger here. Shout out to Paper Tiger for his contribution to Super Chat. He says, Ryan Garcia split decision, maybe a robbery draw for Tank. Oh, okay. So let me write that down here. Paper Tiger, Garcia split decision, or Tank by robbery tie, a.k.a. draw. All right, shout out to you, Paper Tiger. I got you covered. All right, let's go to the phone calls here. We got people calling in. Let's go back here. Let's go to 832. 832, you're on the line. 832, what's on your mind?
Hello, Mr. Hello, Grandpa BDA. Can you hear me?
Yeah, indeed. This is Papa BDA. Who is this? Just so that I know when I write down the prediction.
This is Ellie.
Ellie. All right, Ellie. What's up?
No. Ellie.
Alien. Oh, Alien. Okay, sir, excuse me. Alien. All right, what's up, man?
Okay, so I believe Ryan will win by unanimous decision. Mm-hmm. However, I know for a fact that Tank will touch the canvas.
Oh. So hold on. Before you get to that, before you get to that, I think Butch already had written it down. Ryan by decision. And you said unanimous, or what did you say?
Yeah.
All right, that's it? You want to delve into it a little bit more?
That's it. I mean, well, obviously, put that in Tank will toss the canvas, Ryan won't.
Yes.
Tank.
And what are the chances that Garcia... What are the chances Garcia touches the canvas himself?
No. And if he does, he'll get up. The thing is, I don't know what Tank looks like, right, when he faces adversity. Because this whole time when he performs that, he just blames it on something. I've never seen him truly get knocked down on his ass and have to fight like a mental battle to get up.
All right. Well, we'll see if that happens, man. Listen, a lot of people, anybody can be hurt in this fight, that's for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if your prediction ends up materializing. Well, listen, Elian, man, anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yes. I feel like Tank is a little bit scared because, he always comes to every fight knowing that he's he can beat anyone, right? Even his wife, right?
Oh, come on.
So,
come on,
man.
Jeez Louise.
In this fight, he knows that left hook is coming. I feel like he's not as usual self. And today it pissed me off because people make a living doing these interviews, and this motherfucker just couldn't even attend. It's his job. All right. But anyway,
you're right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Elian. Good
points,
man. Have a good one, man. Take it easy out there. Real quick here, shout out to I Am Your Leader for re-upping the membership program. Shout out to I Am Your Leader, who says, Ryan Garcia, unanimous decision /split. Tank looks malnourished. Well, you know what, man? It's maybe he's probably gonna have to take a dump to make weight. If indeed he's strong, because again, he didn't show up to the open workout. That's a bad sign. And if he does take a dump, I hope he doesn't take it on his toothbrush and then smears it all over his bathroom window the way it happened a couple of months ago. But by the way, yes, I Am Your Leader. I think we already had your prediction, but I'm gonna change it so that it fits the new one, which is Ryan, unanimous decision, split decision. Tank looks malnourished. I'm also taking some predictions down here from what I see here. I see Achilles, aka L-Dog, says Garcia by disqualification. I'd like to hear more about that. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Some Randall says Ryan's gonna shock the world. Hold on a second. Let me just write that down. Some Randall is picking Garcia. Weekend Warrior says Garcia by upset. Epadokua says the left hook from God will rise Saturday. Ralph Unreal says Ryan got more than just a left. Joseph N says Tank looking like a famine survivor. What the fuck? All right, so hey, people are calling it, man. Garcia for the upset. Let's go back to the phone line, see what the people are saying. Let's go to 425. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Really helps us out. 425, you're on the air. 425, what's on your mind?
Oh, yo, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed, sir. What's on your mind?
So I'm picking Ryan Garcia by decision, or unanimous decision. I'm stuck between split, but I'm going to go with unanimous.
That's right. You got to pick one. That's true, yeah.
This is so passive. First time calling in.
Congratulations, man.
So
you finally made the plunge.
Competitive. What's up?
I said congratulations for making the plunge. I got you down here for unanimous decision. Yes, you were going to say how it's going to go down?
Oh, yeah. So I have a feeling that, it'll be super competitive at the beginning. I have a feeling that Ryan Garcia will drop him at one point, and after that, Tank would just be on the back foot like he usually does, like he did with Cruz, and just be a bitch, and it'll just go the distance.
Whoa. So Tank's going to back foot bitch it after he takes the power, you're saying?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Tank will get dropped.
Oh, geez, Luis. All right. So, Passive, anything else you want to say?
No, that's everything.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, well, thank you for your call, and call back next time, Raymond.
Yep.
All right, let's go to 484 here. 484, you're on the air. 484, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Olaf. I'm going with Gervonta Davis by explosive 10th round knockout, like a destructive one-punch knockout. I think it'll probably happen before then, but if I had to actually predict a round, I guess I'll go with round 10. But I think it's going to be like a Rolly Romero type of knockout, to be honest. I think Ryan will have success for as long as the fight happens, but Tank will knock him out destructively.
Okay, do I write brutal or destructive?
Just a brutal knockout. A one-hitter quitter knockout for Tank Davis.
Because I was going to say destructive knockout. That's it's a little redundant because most knockouts are somewhat destructive, whereas brutal, not all knockouts are brutal. So I think brutal is the better adjective here to go with. Would you agree or?
Yeah, just basically just a one-punch knockout.
Whoa! Now, do you think Ryan Garcia has a chance? Or how much of a chance?
I think he has a chance. I want Ryan to win, but I just don't see it happening for him. To be honest, you guys did a great job at showing all of the flaws he has the other day. I think it was 2 days ago when you did that show. And I just feel like he'll have success for as long as it goes on. And like a fight that really this reminds me of a little bit. I know they have two completely different styles, but in terms of size, it's Mario Barrios, when Tank fought Mario Barrios, he finally was able to break him down and stop him late. But at the same time, maybe Tank does back foot bitch it for a while. But just for some reason, I just see Tank knocking him out. Because Ryan, to me, his last two fights have been at 140, and he still hasn't really fought anybody. He fought a bunch of at 140. He fought a bunch of blown up lightweights.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think he hasn't he's completely unproven to me. I don't see. His best win is obviously Luke Campbell, who was a serious contender, but I still feel like he's just a prospect really, or he's just breaking into contender status, and the experience is definitely with Tank Davis, even though he doesn't have a great resume either. So
all right. Well, that's a good breakdown right there. I got you down. Olaf says Tank by brutal knockout. Olaf, we got to move on to another phone call here.
And I think. Okay.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say I think the weight's going to be a problem for Ryan too. honestly, I mean, he's a big guy for like, I guess 136 they're fighting at. But I hear but Tank Davis is having weight issues too. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not like completely confident in that pick, but I just in my head I just see it playing out with Tank Davis like knocking him out with one punch. Like it'll be like the Luke Campbell kind of knockdown. Like it'll be a bad knockdown, but he won't get up from it. Like it'll happen once. I don't think Tank will get knocked down or anything like that. And that's just that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, it's a good breakdown right there.
But anyway, take care, guys.
You too, man. Thank you for your call. Take it easy out there. Hey, by the way, Jimmy, you mentioned that we were talking about Tank Davis, the fact that he was MIA for the open work, and you said, I don't think he's shacked up with a girl. I think you're right. I don't think he's shacked up with a girl, but I think you're wrong. I think he is shacked up with someone, and that someone might have been that guy that he was with yesterday, Kai, whatever his name is. The guy that was, he seemed to be very excited to be around Gervonta Davis, I got to tell you. Jumping up and down, screeching, grabbing his junk. If Tank Davis is weight drained or he's drained, it's probably because this guy drained his balls via a very, very
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we're speculating, right, Jimmy? We're speculating. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Just speculation, man. Just speculating.
I gotta say that.
He looked like Bill Clinton, when they thought they won the elections and he was jumping in Air Force One with Hillary. Yeah, we won, like a little girl.
Well, I don't think it was on Air Force One when that happened, but I remember that.
It was in Air Force One.
But you're right. Yeah, that was when he was jumping up and down, like they told him, "Hey, we got a fat intern in the back. She wants to have sex with you or something." I don't know. Listen,
she's only 17.
Exactly. There you go, man.
Hey, PDA, later when you get a chance, I'm gonna change my prediction. I know Bucho said no flip flopping, but it's fair, man. It's like whatever it is, I'm gonna do it.
Well, you can change it right up until the fight, man. As long as you don't call in, halfway through the fight. I mean, right? Doesn't really matter.
Later when he's less busy.
All right. By the way, shout out to. By the way, I discourage flip flopping, but I mean, like Jimmy said, technically you're still allowed to do it before the fight. Shout out to the Theological Handyman for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, what's he saying? Honestly, who did Fat Tank beat that is better than Luke Campbell? That's an interesting question right there. And by the way, I like your avatar there that says, read me. Yeah, we will read your comments. So you don't always have to Super Chat it for us to read it. But shout out to the Theological Handman. Really appreciate it. And shout out to Bushido Kai, or Ki, for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, if Ryan knocks out Tank, it will be a stumbling fall, but if Tank knocks out Ryan, with that chin sticking out, it will be a big old knockout. Wow, I agree, man. That's a good way of putting it. By the way, who is that in your avatar? Is that Eminem next to some Samoan guy? I don't know. Let me know, man. But shout out to you, Bushido Key. Thank you for your contribution, man. And your Actually, I'm gonna have to write that one down. Did he make a prediction?
Right about Luke Campbell being better. I mean, think about it. Even Pedraza, which would be Davis's best win, that was a wicked weight train. There was all the talk going into that camp and through the camp that Pedraza was killing himself to make 130, and he did. He was more like tired. He wasn't like knocked out. He was just couldn't even stand up anymore. Remember, he punched himself out early because he was real aggressive. Because I think he probably knew he wasn't going to carry it late, wasn't going to get a second win, and it cost him. But immediately after that fight, he went up to 130. Was it 130 or 135? Yeah, I know he jumped up. That was his last fight at that weight. But since then, who's Davis fought?
That's a good point, man.
That you would say is better than Luke Campbell.
The best. Okay, before we continue with the phone calls here, they're piling up. So let's just make it quick. Jimmy, who would you say that? Well, you said it, Hector Garcia. You think that's Tank Davis' best win?
No, because the way that finished, like. I think that dude just quit. I don't know what the hell was going on. Nobody quits because their eyes saw. Probably Leo Santa Cruz, just because Leo's got the experience. If he didn't just stand there and shake his wrist at him, probably could have done better. But, yeah. So, but even still, not impressed by anybody he fought. Anybody.
Interesting.
I mean, Rolly Romero is just a bigger kid who can crack hard, but I mean, he couldn't have fucking been more obvious what he was doing if he gave him a little fucking... right out for here's what I'm going to do is my little criteria for the fight before the fight started. It was so obvious. So, yeah, just it's crazy. But now, did you see what he's tweeting today or what Mike Benson wrote? One of his quotes after this, Shakur, Haney, Lomachenko, they're all on my list. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Of course. I mean, yeah, he's. We'll see, man. I don't know, man. Hey, by the way, Gonzalo, who would you say is Tank Davis's best win?
Pedraza was such a long time ago that it's what have you done for me lately? You got to really just think about the last 3 fights. Best opponent. We were watching yesterday the videos, and technically, I would say Leo Santa Cruz. From what I witnessed yesterday, you showing. But in regards to like size, maybe Mario Barrios was bigger. So it's between those two guys. I forget who else he fought.
Same thing with me, Gonzalo. When I saw the film yesterday, was watching the fight. The film is what made me think about that. Exact same thing. That's how I arrived to Leo.
Chief, who would you say is Tank Davis' best win? Or what is his best win? All right, Chief, I think he's driving, so he's going to be busy. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to 347. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like. 347, you're on the air. 347, what's on your mind?
Hey, guys, how you doing? NPR voice here. How you been, guys?
Doing fantastic, NPR voice guy. Is this the real NPR voice? Because there's two of you.
Well, I'm the original NPR voice.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm going to keep it kind of brief here because it's about predictions. I go for Tank by knockout, and in that same kind of spectacular way that was brought up by a gentleman, a caller ago. And the reason being is I'm trying to give a quick explanation as to why. Ryan leans his weight over his left foot to generate power. In other words, he's front foot dominant. He's a 50-50 weight distribution guy, but to generate power for that left hook, he leans in. And Tank sets beautiful traps for that kind of thing. He's got the best gazelle punch since Hagler. And so I'm not actually thinking that necessarily that the stunning punch will come from an uppercut. It could, but I think the thing that's he's gonna be dominant is the trap set from the high guard in the set position that Tank does, and Ryan has no kind of way around that, and particularly because in the open stance, he never gets outside foot dominance, which is going to be necessary for the best combination against Tank, which is a 2-1, and that's what Tank suffers from. So unless that happens, unless he gets outside foot dominance, which he has not done again in the open stance against lefties, he always fights from the inside, and he's a straight up fighter, stands up straight, unlike a guy like Josh Taylor, who can fight on the inside in the open stance because he's bending all the time. He bends at the waist to avoid shots. He slips shots. Ryan can't do that, and so the ultimate thing is because of that, because of he doesn't get outside foot dominance. Never. He doesn't throw a straight right either. It's a slap shot. If you take a look at all his fights, his right, he's never thrown a right as a setup punch, which is going to be necessary against the opposite stance. So 2-1 is the key for Ryan, outside foot dominance, and that leaping gazelle punch, I believe, is going to be Tank, and I go spectacular knockout by Tank versus Ryan, unless those things line up for Ryan. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you. Thanks for listening, and take care.
Thank you, NPR guy. I got your prediction down here. Tank by spectacular knockout. And it's interesting, he talked about the footwork. That was something that we were touching on later on. Shout out to you, NPR guy. Call back next time, all right, man? Take it easy out there.
Later, man.
That's a good breakdown right there. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. I see there's a lot of people listening. Every like counts. It helps us out. Costs nothing, and it really helps us out, all right, fellas? So make sure to do that and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you haven't subscribed already, I'm going to have to send somebody over to your house. Let's just put it that way. Let's go to 470 here. 470, you on the air. 470, what's on your mind?
Yo.
Yes, 470, are you on the air?
What's up, BJ? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, is this Never Sobers? What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? Never Sobers from the Discord. I want to jump in here and say that I got Ryan 8th round knockout. I think he's going to stay focused and calm, stay on the outside, pepper shot Tank. I know Tank's game plan is to take Ryan into later rounds and try to tire him out, but it's not like Tank has some kind of output that's going to make Ryan work hard. You know, he can conserve himself in the early rounds and win them by just being tall. You know?
I got you.
So
yeah,
I
I
think
got you on that one.
Tank's gonna fucking he's gonna be running for 6 rounds, and then he's gonna be down. They're gonna tell him he's down. He's gonna start going for it. He's gonna start opening up. I think he's gonna be down, and it's gonna force him to come inside to see Ryan, and that's when Ryan's gonna catch him. I think Ryan hits harder than he thinks. And I was listening to an interview with Ryan's dad, and he was talking about the weight, and he was making it seem like it's nothing. He was like, Ryan doesn't even hydrate more than 10 pounds, so it was really not a big deal for us. And I think Tank not showing up to that little event today, I think that's a sign that he's out there. I don't think he's out there in the gym, you know, working hard, sharpening his tools. I think he's in there trying to cut weight. And yesterday when he showed up to the other little weigh-in show, he was late then, and when he came in, you know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but he was chugging a water bottle on his way inside.
Interesting.
So I think he might be the one that ended up, you know, not making weight. And Ryan looked fine, and he still looks energetic. He looks like he's gonna be on weight already. He looks fine.
I mean, that's an interesting observation
So I
right
think,
there. Yeah,
it's gonna backfire. What's up?
No, I say this interesting observation because I did watch the not only the last evening rather the official introduction, whatever they call it, and then today's open workout. And Ryan Garcia looks a little bit just
whatever.
Yeah, his cheekbones look a little protruding, but he doesn't look weight drained. I mean, I tell you this, Benavidez looked worse during his fight.
He didn't look like Devin Haney.
Exactly. No, not even close. Well, we'll see, man. Maybe on Friday it really gets bad. I don't know. We'll see, man. But that's an interesting one right there. By the way, I also want to ask you, because Bucho had already taken down your prediction before, and I think he'd written down Ryan Garcia 8-round stoppage, and he wrote in parentheses confident. Is that because you said you're confident in that prediction?
He's gonna knock it the fuck out, bro. I'm confident.
All right.
I think Ryan's just brimming with confidence, bro. He's walking with someone who, he's walking like a real man of faith, dude. Like, his destiny's already there, and he's not worried about where he's going because he knows where the Lord is taking him. You know?
Absolutely.
That's how he's acting.
I know that feeling. I get that feeling every day. All right, Never Sobers. Well, thank you for your call, man, and catch you on the next one. All right, man?
All right, man.
Take it easy out there.
Take it easy, bro.
That was Never Sobers. Yes, this is...
Yeah, BD.
Yes.
Yeah, salute to Never Sober. He's got a good boxing brain, in my opinion.
There you go. That's a big that's a big plus there from when it comes from Gonzalo, let me tell you. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 510. 510, you on the air. 510, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Jimmy? What's up, Gonzalo? What's up, BDA?
Don't forget Chief.
I'm pretty much going to stand for him.
What's up, buddy?
But yeah, what's up, man?
Okay, go ahead, man. Yeah.
But, I'm going to stick with my original.
I think you're cutting off. I can't hear you. You said I'm going to stick with my, and then you cut off.
Oh, shit. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
My bad. I muted myself by accident. Yeah. No, yeah, sorry, I was saying pretty much, I'm going to stay to my 6th round. I got Tank 6th round TKO. I don't think he even if he somehow cracks Ryan with the perfect punch, even with his power, just given from what we've seen from Ryan, his chin, I think he'll hold up, and I think he'll be dazed, and I think that's how it's going to turn out if it is a knockdown. I don't think he has enough power to starch him.
Wait, hold on. Is this Mr. Booty Juice or is this Chris?
Yeah, Mr. Booty Juice. Yeah, that's what I put my name under as. Yep, I got 6th round, but TKO. Yeah.
TKO. All right. See, I like it when people are as specific as possible. I mean, I don't mind if people say just stoppage or unanimous/split decision, but I like it when people go 6th round and then TKO or brutal KO or shit like that. So I got you down for that, Mr. Booty Juice. Sorry, I interrupted you. I think I interrupted you. So you were saying, you were breaking it down.
Yeah, because I mean, the way I see it, I think, neither of them are like, I don't want to sound like a fucking, we already beat that horse here, but neither of them have like a superior record to each other. Neither of them have like extreme edges, even when it comes to their technical skills. So like y'all broke it down before in the other past show. So I guess that's just the way I see it play out. I think if somehow Ryan gets like a knockout, I think the way he'll set it up, he'll try to, because keep in mind, I think both are like aware of what each other can bring to the table. And I think I give a slight adaptive advantage to Tank only because he's like, he has like that Floyd Mayweather background, so he might be already, wanting to move out the way and like hit him in a specific spot. Because originally I said he'll bite on a feint, but even then I haven't seen Tank throw out a lot of feints, so I'm pretty sure if this is going to be the fight where he'll try to feint Ryan will bite on a feint, he'll try to load up too quickly. He seems particularly antsy when he does shoot that hook. I mean, it is precise. It does have a high accuracy of landing, but I think he'll make him bite on that. He'll either duck that punch, or again he'll just like make him flinch. He'll pre-shoot it, and then bam, he's just going to hit him either to the body or to the head. If he hits him to the head, he's going to get knocked down. He'll try to get back up, and he'll just put him away that way. And but either or, I'm indifferent on whoever wins. To me, the guy that has it would be better for his career to win would be Ryan, because he'll just like absorb whatever's left over of the Mexican fan base. And Tank he's just gonna have like the ratchet PVC people, whatever, watching him. So they're just gonna stay there. And I mean that's what we call them out here in California. But that's what they kind of are. I mean, to me that's what they are. But whatever. Right. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Either way, though, I mean, hopefully it's a good fight. Hopefully everything turns out cool, and stay safe and be smooth, you guys. So that's it.
All right, you too, Mr. Booty Juice. Thank you for your call, and call back next time, right, man? Take it easy out there.
Yeah, take it easy. Yep.
All right, that's Mr. Booty Juice. People in the chat are confounded and astounded. They're perplexed by what Mr. Booty Juice said. What exactly is Booty Juice? I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound like it smells good. Let me tell you. It sounds like it could make you gag a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, let's go to another phone call here. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Let's go to 505. 505, you're on the air. 505, what's on your mind?
Hey, BDA, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. Who is this?
BDA? Oh, this is Hyperspaz, man. It's been a while. How you doing?
Doing fantastic there, Hyperspaz. Hope you've been doing fantastic as well. What's up?
Yeah, I kind of want Ryan to win, but I think Davis is going to take him. 8th round, body shot. I think he's going to take him down with a body shot, uppercut.
I'm writing it down as you speak. Yes, go ahead.
All right, hopefully I'm wrong, but I'd like to see Garcia win. Plus, I like Joe Goosen quite a bit, so I'm kind of rooting for those guys.
You kind of sound like, I know people, by the way. I can read people just by their voice alone. I picture you looking a little bit like Joe Goosen, or at least dressing like Joe Goosen. Am I correct in my assessment?
No, man, my shirts are pretty boring compared to his. But I was thinking, man, he should, for good luck, wear the one that he wore for Corrales Castillo. Maybe he will. That'd be pretty cool.
That's interesting. Hey, you know what, man? Yes, fighters tend to be very, very superstitious, and maybe it would help for Joe Goosen to wear the same attire or something similar to the thing he wore against when Corrales. Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good one, Hyperspace. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, well, I know he still has that shirt. I know he still has it. He says in his closet, because people always want to get it from him, But I don't know. He could probably sell it on eBay for
I was gonna say I'm not a thief or anything, but that's a shirt that I would be willing to steal. I wouldn't, not if he's wearing it though. That'd be creepy, leaving him shirtless. But I would certainly try to get my hands on that shirt. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe you get lucky. You get a couple of chest hairs in the shirt for you.
Okay, no. That's disgusting.
Hey, Hyperspaz. Hopefully he don't pick the one he wore for the rematch.
Oh, yeah,
by mistake.
That's true. People forget the rematch.
Exactly. I forget what shirt he was wearing that time, but I'm sure it was flashy regardless.
That's right. Probably something with sequins on it. Well, listen, Hyperspace, I got your prediction down. And that's a good little observation there about the shirt. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, I'll just be I'll be listening to you guys afterwards. I'm assuming you're going to have something. You're going to get online, have a show or something like right afterwards, or are you going to wait till the next day?
Butcher usually he's tempted to go right online as soon as a big fight ends, but it would probably be something like this where it's a call-in show. And then on Sunday, we would have the more formal, panelist show.
All right, cool, man. I'll be tuning in then. Thanks a lot. Hopefully we all enjoy the fight. Hopefully it's a good one. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Hyperspace. Well, thank you for your call, and call back next time, all right, man?
All right.
Take it easy out there.
All right, thank you. Have a good.
That's right. You know what? It's not just enjoying the fight. It's the friends you make along the way that counts as well. All right, let's go to... I didn't even believe that one. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 979. 979, you're on the air. 979, what's on your mind?
Hello?
Yes, 979, you're on the air.
Hello? Yeah, what's up, BDA and everyone? How's it going?
Doing fantastic. Who is this, by the way?
This is Bruce from Houston. I don't know.
Bruce,
I called
right?
like a couple weeks ago. This is my second time calling.
Fantastic. And what's your prediction, or what's on your mind, rather?
Well, my prediction, I think it's going to be a Tank by late knockout, like 12th round. But I think Ryan's going to be winning. I think Ryan's going to win like the first 6 rounds. Like Tank's going to start super slow because I think he really is having trouble making weight. And I think he's just going to start really fucking slow. And he's not going to look good. Like Rolly, but like worse, but like way longer in the fight. But I think he's going to turn it up and like maybe hit him in the body, hit Ryan in the body a couple times or something, and just bullshit a fucking knockout win, like always. And yeah, he's going to win late, and he's pretty much going to think he's a legend and retire, go to Bumville, and retire, like beating up bums and shit, and that's it.
So he's going back to Bumville. Some people would say that after he retires, he's literally going to be going to Bumville, probably San Francisco or LA or one of those places. But
I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, they're about to give Rolly a fucking free title. He's just gonna go fight Rolly and then get a free title and think he's the man, and then just fucking and avoid Sugrio like his whole career. Watch, or
Yeah, I don't see that Subriel Matias fight happening. I'd be very surprised if it materializes.
They're gonna avoid that guy like the plague, man.
I know, man. I know.
I think he's the man at 140. I think he could beat Ruguru, low key or high key.
Interesting. That's one fight I'd love to see, man. Ruguru versus the killer Matias. Well, listen, the Spruce, I got your prediction here. Yeah. Tank by late KO. So thank you for your call, and call back next time, all right, man?
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, man. Take it easy out there. Kind of sound like Kevin from Chicago. Maybe that's his what do you call it? Doppelganger or doppeldanger? I forget exactly how you pronounce it. But he kind of does sound like Kevin from Chicago. Shout out to him, Bruce the Spruce. I got his prediction down, and I got a bunch of predictions down here. Let's go to another phone call. Let's go to 323. 323, you're on the air. 323, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, BDA? How's it going? Gonzalo and Jimmy. I haven't really changed my position too much on this fight. I'm still edging it towards Tank, and I think it's it's a 50-50 fight. But I started thinking a couple of weeks back, because of all the stipulations in the contract, and then I don't know. I mean, you got to know that Tank showing up to the press conference with the purse was going to lead to comments, and him showing up late, and him not coming to the exhibition little practice bout thing today in the ring. I'm thinking he's playing the mental game. I'm thinking he's just trying to throw Ryan off, maybe giving him a false sense of security. Kind of like saying, "Hey, I'm going to throw these stipulations at you," and I don't know. It's it seems a little fishy to me. Like all these little things sound a little fishy. Whether the if the mind games work, that's one thing. I don't think that I don't think he's doing a great job of it if he is doing it. But I was talking to somebody about that, and I'm like, guys, I don't know. I think he's kind of playing some stupid mind tricks with him. When have you not known him to not go to a not have any press? The guy, his handlers love him to have press. He likes to have press. He's not very enthusiastic. He's not very fun to listen to talk because the guy can barely speak English. But he still goes. He still does press conferences. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, there's a lot to dissect, and I know you guys were unpacking a lot of variables the other day, but I didn't really hear too much of the mind manipulation angle. So I wanted to get all you guys. I wanted to get all your take on it.
Well, okay. How about this? Let's go around the table here. I'll go first. In terms of mind games, I don't remember Tank Davis ever doing any type of mind tricks. And this is, by the way, you're asking the right guy here because I am the self-professed master of sexual and psychological manipulation, and I don't see that from Tank Davis. I just see him doing straight up, thuggery. Like he tries to get in people's faces, push them. He's gonna probably try to shove Ryan Garcia during the wait and watch. But also, I maintain that there was something going on. What a coincidence! He's in the room with this Kai Yafai guy or whatever his name is, Kai Senat. This guy he's wearing pink. His pants are all the way or halfway down, like prison style. He's very excited. He's grabbing his dick in the video. He's very, very close to Tank Davis throughout the video. Here, as you can see, I don't know if you're seeing on your screen, he's wearing some sort of like cushion contraption, probably so that he can lie on the floor with his booty up on the air. That's what I'm thinking. It looks like one of those shields, like boxing shields, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it's some sort of cushion. And I'm telling you, man, I think that's why Tank Davis sort of missed the Wayne. There was some sexual shenanigans going on. But let me don't take what I say as gospel. Let's go to the panel here, see what they think. Let's start with Gonzalo. Gonzalo, do you think there's some mind games here afoot from Tank Davis by missing the Wayne and the other stuff that Don Madrazos brought up?
Honestly,
not the Wayne.
I'm not even going to speculate, really. If I have nothing to say regarding that, I probably won't, because I'm not going to go out on a limb, because we don't know. So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can speculate all we want, but we don't want to run on a tangent, like looking for answers, and from there, well, if he didn't do this, it was because of that, and he didn't do that, and then go on a little chain of like ideas that leads to nowhere. It's better just to assume, okay, he didn't show up for whatever reason, and let's see what's next.
Right, that makes sense.
Jimmy,
what do you think? Yeah.
Jimmy?
What's that?
What do you think about what Don Madrazos said? Do you think that... Well, go ahead, Don Madrazos.
The odd behavior Tank is... Do you think because of the odd behavior Tank is expressing, showing up with a purse, being late, not showing up, all the stipulations in the contract? Do you think it could be part of a bad attempt at mind games on his part?
I think he's expressed I think he might want to transition soon, but I think he's trying to do it in small amounts so he doesn't shock the public. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know the person. No, I think it's kind of the fashion. He's trying to be cutting edge, but because literally, if you go to the fucking top designers like Gucci and shit, everything's this non-binary shit. Like they're literally trying to confuse it. And this kid, because his girl probably says, "Yeah, it's Gucci." Doesn't give a fuck what it looks like. It's just, just $800, $2,000, I'll wear whatever. So I think the clothes aspect is just whatever. But I think the 136, he wants to melt him down because he knows the bigger that kid is, the harder he's going to punch. Simple as that. Okay, and I just don't think this kid's taking his career serious enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, by the way, hold on. We got
sounded like a little. There was a lot of little things that kept happening, and I've never seen him do anything like this. So I'm just wondering, like, is he just trying to fuck with Ryan, or is he just trying to throw everything off here? I don't know. I mean, I think that's the funniest thing I've heard, that he's slowly transitioning. But
well, let me get Chief. Hold on, Don Madrazos, let me get Chief in here, because I don't know if he can hear us, but he didn't chime. Boxing Chief, do you think there's some psychological warfare here with Tank Davis missing the open workout? Chief? No, I can't hear you, Chief. Yeah, it says now you're unmuted and I can't hear you. All right, well, listen, we'll when he comes back, he'll answer the question. Meanwhile, we got to move on to our phone caller, Don Madrazos. But thank you for your call, and catch you on the next one, all right, man?
All right.
Don.
Take care, you guys. See ya.
Take it easy, man.
Later.
Shout out to
and I also say that's Tom Brown, by the way. Any of the shenanigans, that's not Gervonta. That's the people, his new guys. I think Tom Brown is influencing him and trying to do as much as he can to show how hands-on he is. Remember, because he left Floyd, so I would think that's Tom Brown doing all that bullshit. But that's it.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I'll let you answer his question, but before that, shout out to Aaron Kuko for his contribution to Super Chat. He says, I see Tank and Garcia exchanging knockdowns early, and then Tank will get on his tricycle. Despite getting clearly on box, Tank wins a gift decision. Whoa. All right, so shout out to Aaron Kuko. I'm going to write down his prediction. In the meantime, Chief, Don Madrazos' question was, the fact that Tank Davis missed the open workout, do you think that's some sort of psychological warfare going on there?
I think it's less that and more of trying to establish himself as I'm living up to the hype that people have been telling him that he's the A side. So if I don't want to show up, I don't have to. You have to show up, because remember when they were doing the exchange of Ryan showed up on time for the first press conference and Tank was late. Ryan goes, well, I was on time. I'm a professional. And Tank goes, that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what just as if it was less than him to be able to show up when someone else told him they wanted him to expected him there. So I think he's finally trying to fill his head with whatever else is saying is he's the A side. So I want this fight to be at this. You're going to come to my demand. And I don't know as much of a mind game as he's just trying to present alpha in this case, which I don't think he's accomplished it yet. If he wins, then maybe he does. But at the moment, I don't think so.
Well, it's definitely intriguing. I'll say that much. Definitely very intriguing. I want to remind people out there that we still have the open phone lines for about an hour and 8 minutes. So make sure to call in. The number's right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. And I'll keep posting it periodically on the big screen or in the chat as well. In the meantime, Ryan Garcia, listen, you don't take a fighter at face value. Some fighters say fighters are always going to say the same thing in the build-up to a fight. This is the best training camp ever. I've never felt better, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to tell you, shit, my hand hurts. My shoulder's been hurting me for the past couple of 2 weeks. I've been barely throwing that hand. And I just got into a fight with my wife and so on and so forth. They're always going to tell you that. But Ryan Garcia does sound pretty confident in the build-up to this fight. In fact, yesterday was the grand arrival. And he had this to say. He doubled down on the fact that he's betting his purse against Gervonta Davis. And he says, I just hope that talking about Tank Davis, is not talking about the purse he wears. Oh, that's all I'm worried about, he says. We're not talking about the purse you're wearing. We're talking about the whole fight purse. Let's bring it on, he said. So I don't know if that's official, like we discussed on the last show. I don't even know if that's allowed by the commissions, but that's how it is. The other thing is, I wanted to show you guys here, well, everybody actually, the open workout, and just to try and get a grip on whether Ryan Garcia looks good or whether he looks a little weight drained. In the meantime, while I'm queuing that video up, shout out to Cerny Banders for his contribution with the Super Chat. He says, one must ask the question, who has he beat? Who was, insert name, fighter's biggest win for each fighter? Can we do this for Tank and Ryan? Thank you, BDA. Well, thank you, Cerny Banders, for the contribution. And we're going to get to that. Yeah, go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, well, at some point, every fighter, like, at some point in time, going back, they've come to like a stepping stone where they've never faced anybody. And until you do, you really don't know. Like when Manny Pacquiao, prior to fighting the big names, when he stepped up, he fought Leduaba, who was a good fighter, but nobody knew him, right? Until he stepped onto the scene. So everybody goes through that transition phase. You don't know until you do.
That's right. That's a good point. That's an excellent way of putting it, rather. That's why when sometimes people go, well, this guy beats everybody because of the eye test. And it's like, well, yeah, he's been looking good against the limited opposition he's faced. But what happens when he fights a guy that can take his shot? What happens when he fights a guy that can roll with the shots? What happens when he fights a guy that can hit as hard as he can or is as quick as he is, and so on and so forth? That's why fighters get developed by increments, or that's the way it used to be. Nowadays, these guys, they fight, twice a year, and they barely have 20 fights in there. So it's starting to change now. The dynamic is changing. But to Cerny Banders' question, one must ask the question, who has he beat? So you guys already answered who Tank Davis' best opponent was. Most of you said that it was either Isaac Cruz, or some of you said Leon Santa Cruz or Hector Luis Garcia. So really just one good lightweight. The rest were either 130-pounders or even below that, or Mario Barrios, who is a top 10 or was a top 10 140-pounder. So I guess those could be his wins. In terms of Ryan Garcia, I think we all know it's Luke Campbell. Would you guys agree with that? Garcia's best win at this point is right. Yeah, okay.
Olympic gold medalist. And one more thing, BDA, if you're born with it, if you got it, if you're covering that cloth, you got it, man. It's like Julio Cesar Chavez. He was a late starter. He was 15, I think. And then he fought like no names. But when he had to fight the tough guys, he also beat them up. He beat both guys, the good and the bad. But if you're born with it and you got it, hey, man, you're the man. And Ryan Garcia certainly got the speed.
That's a good way of putting it, too, as well there. We got a phone call here. Let's go to the phone lines. And don't forget to hit the like, by the way, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. I'm actually going to be saying that every 20 seconds unless we get to 100 likes. How about that? Let's go to 510 here. 510, you're on the air. 510, what's on your mind?
What up, BDA?
Is this Shadow Ben?
No, this is the guy at Slam. What's his name? Slugger Sam hates, the warehouse guy.
Oh, okay. Fuck, what was your name again? With the basketball avatar.
Forklift.
Yeah, I know, Forklift guy, but you're on the chat too. You got a basketball avatar there. But anyway, Forklift guy.
Yeah,
what's up,
my name is Jonathan. Jonathan.
Okay, Lambarena, right? Is that...
yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
well, we'll call you Forklift guy. That sounds better. What's up, Forklift guy?
So I just want to dispel a couple rumors. Like, I see a lot of people, like saying, oh, well, people are riding with Ryan because he's Mexican. People are riding with Tank because he's black, pop, 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 right? Well, I don't think Ryan is Mexican because I don't know if anybody's seen in the open workout he had, I think like a week ago. He ain't put no salsa on the taco, so that's one, right? He ate it straight fucking dry. So, to me, I take offense to that, BDA. That's fucking wrong, And secondly, I think, I agree with, I don't know who said it, but I agree. I think Tank is slowly transitioning. He's fighting with women. He's wearing colorful shit. My girl just told me he had two different types of person. One was a clutch bag, and one was a fucking over the shoulder bag. So that's you're wearing two different type of purses. So that alone should say you're a little bit on the zesty side. Let's see. As far as like what I seen today, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Ryan Garcia did look a little drained. He did look a little gaunt in the face. I don't know if you guys agree.
Well, let's get to that. Stay on the line here. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This is the open workout. This is Ryan Garcia here. And what do you guys make of this? Well, hold on. Let's see his face.
Well, that might explain why he wasn't having salsa. He was probably just keeping the calories down. You know what I'm saying? And he probably eats that whatever he's eating right now. He probably seriously eats it different when he's not in, a couple of weeks out of the fight or whatever.
Wait a minute.
I'm just guessing for calories.
Yeah, are you kidding about the salsa? How many calories does salsa have?
Doesn't matter when you're really cutting down. When you're into the point where you're cutting muscle, it's not that easy. You hit a wall. It gets harder and harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's like saying, I'm cutting weight. But that's like saying I'm going to cut weight. I'm going to eat a hamburger.
Also, if he's eating bland, though, I don't know how spicy the salsa is, but if he's eating bland and hit some system with some salsa, he could get the Hershey squirts too. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But that's what I'm asking is like, let's say like, oh, he eats a hamburger. Oh, I'm trying to make weight. I'm going to eat a hamburger, but no ketchup. It's like, come on, you're eating a hamburger. That's bad enough, And that fucking tacos got.
I don't know what's in salsa. What's actually in salsa? So I'm not an expert on that. That's for sure.
All right. Well,
the salsa wasn't about the weight though, BDA. That salsa was about him being Mexican or not. Let's remember that.
I got that. Yeah. Hey, listen, you're probably gonna think, Gonzalo, you were eating tacos recently, and you were eating them with, I think, gluten-free tortillas, right?
Oh, that's pita bread, almond flour, pita bread, gluten-free, sugar-free.
So what do you think about that, forklift guy? Do you think that's a heresy as well for a Mexican to be eating pita bread that's gluten-free, or because he's not even eating tortilla?
Hey, well, like the Middle Eastern people and Mexicans are like they're pretty much the same people. So I don't know. We both like spices. We both need some fucking bread in between our So it's all the same shit. But
well, I enjoy.
But definitely Ryan's not. I can tell you. Ryan don't got a lick of Mexican. I'm sorry. If you hear his parents talk, they're fully Americanized. Whether his parents are or not, that's a different thing. But Ryan, I'm sure it'll be hard for him to sell to the Mexican fans. But we are a lot of gullible people, So I wouldn't see them, negating he's Mexican. But could I just give my prediction, BDA? Sorry.
Absolutely, yes, please.
I'm riding with Tank, right? I'm riding with Tank. Well, I'm not riding with him. No homo. Sorry, that's Ty. That's Ty Sennett's job or whatever that guy is. But I think Tank will drop Ryan Garcia. I'm not sure if Ryan could do it, but if he can, I think it's gonna look either two ways, right? If Ryan wins, it's gonna be a fucking Buster Douglas versus Tyson type shit, where you're gonna see Tank is actually looking goofy on the ground, looking for his mouthpiece. And then if not, I think Ryan is literally going to be put on his ass like really hard. Like he might catch air on this one if Ryan gets knocked out.
All right, there we go. I got that written down there.
But I am going with a Tank. I'm going with a Tank, and possibly listen to this. Since you like detailed prediction, BDA, I think. It's actually going to be an early stoppage, and they're going to give it a Tank. Just we'll be landing a couple good shots, and then they're going to try to call the fight.
Interesting. All right, I got that written down right there, forklift guy. I like the fact that you went into the details, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, man?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully he's not he didn't sound like he was in the warehouse today. That he got some flack from Slugger Sam the other day, because he called in during work hours. Let's go to another phone call here.
I agree with the quick stoppage, too, by the way.
Yeah.
I think if he's hurt, I bet you they pop us quick, where he's like, what are you talking about? Because, I don't know. I think they even stop Romero soon.
We're almost at 100 likes. I want to get to 100 likes. Otherwise, I'm going to keep repeating myself over and over, and it's going to be annoying. So let's make that happen. Let's go to 910 here. 910, you on the air. 910, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on? It's Steven Schneider. How's the panel doing tonight?
Whoa, Steven, what's up, man? Steven Schneider, what's on your mind, man?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to call in to debunk all this nonsense about the hood rat leprechaun.
Okay, go ahead, man. Yes.
Well, first off, his resume is dog shit. I put Luke Campbell ahead of any name on Tank's fucking resume. I think Luke Campbell is underrated. He was a medalist. He showed he showed that he was pretty damn good versus Linares and Lomachenko. We hurt Lomachenko several times. He has more TKOs than he has decisions. I think he was a solid name, and that solid name is better than Tank's whole puffed up fucking resume. I also think that Ryan Garcia he's obviously bigger. I think he's faster. I think he's more powerful. He clearly has more range. I think he comes from a better pedigree. Ryan Garcia, he beat Devin Haney twice in the amateurs, and he beat Virgil Ortiz Jr. in the amateurs. He has like 200 amateur fights. I don't know. I think the fucking hood rat leprechaun gets slept, and they have to take him back to Baltimore on a fucking stretcher that's 6 inches long.
Wait a minute. I don't understand why you're so aggressive, but I like it. By the way, also, so you're saying Ryan Garcia wins, but try to be as specific as possible. Stoppage, round.
Oh yeah, KO round 7.
KO round 7. There you go. He's gonna be knocking out the hood leprechaun, as you called him, and we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully,
yeah, the hood knocking out the hood rat leprechaun.
What's that, Chief?
Did he say Ryan beat Haney twice in the amateurs?
I believe he did.
He beat Haney twice, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
It was 3 apiece. They fought 6 times, 3 and 3.
There you go. There you go. So he knows what he's doing, at least, in terms of pedigree. He knows how to box. All right, well, listen, Steve Schneider, thank you for your call, and call back next time, right, man?
Yeah, I will. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. The panel, you guys are awesome. I'm going to finish drinking this 12-pack.
All right. Enjoy yourself, man. Take it easy out there.
Hope it ain't Bud Light.
Oh.
He lost his first 2. Ryan Garcia lost his first 2 amateur fights. Then he lost 3 against Haney, and he won 3. So that's 5 losses right there. The first 2 and the 3 against Haney, but then he beat Haney 3 times. And he lost a total of 15 times, so only lost 10 times. Like later. He lost his first 2.
Right, but Gonzo, are you saying they fought a total of 6 and they split it down the middle?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, listen, I see that we're 4 likes away from 100. 4 likes away from 100. Remember what I told you? Unless we hit 100, I will not stop annoying people by saying, by reminding people about that.
Keep pestering them. Keep pestering them, BDA.
That's what I'm going to do.
BDA, can I change my prediction right quick?
No, you can't.
Recognize my friend.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen? What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Let me annoy. I'm going to annoy
Doing
people.
good,
Hold
guys.
on a second.
Recognize what's up, buddy.
I got to annoy
What's
people
up,
so that
Jimmy?
they actually, I got to annoy people so that they hit the like.
They haven't been there.
Hold on, let me see if I can have annoying sounds here.
You know, man, disrespect.
Nah, all right, I'll look for something. Shout out to Rider of the Storm for his contribution to Super Chat. He says, hold on a second, where is it? It's always non-Mexicans to tell the Mexican-American we aren't Mexican. Chinga tu madre. Ryan will beat and take Tank's purse in the unanimous decision. Well, shout out to him. I'm going to write that one down, Rider of the Storm. But it's true. It's always about, this guy ain't Mexican. I remember Eric Morales once said, now, if you're not living in Mexico, you can't call yourself a Mexican. You got to eat Mexican. You got to, be Mexican. You got to hang around Mexicans. You got to shit Mexican. I mean, I'm thinking, come on, man. Your DNA changes now all of a sudden because you left Mexico. So it's always something. That's one of the pet peeves that we have as Mexicans. It's always about who really is Mexican, who's really Mexican. So.
And that's crazy because some of his children are already born in the United States. So what? His children ain't Mexican?
They're less Mexican, apparently, according to the hierarchy.
Technically, they're not Mexicans. They're of like Mexican descent, right?
Yeah,
That's
Mexican
right,
American. But guess what? If you're born in the United States and your parents are born in Mexico, all you have to do is go and get a paper, and then you become Mexican, dual citizenship. You inherit the birthright. It's like my son. He's born in the Philippines. He can get the United States citizenship. All I have to do is go to the consulate. Same thing with the Mexicans.
That's why I support.
Yeah.
But that's why I support trans rights, because I'm also going for transracialism. I am no longer Mexican since I've been living in Canada for so long. I am now also Canadian, but I also want to get other benefits. So I'm going with Japanese and Jewish as well. So I'm like a Japanese Jewish.
Can I call
Mexican
you his hers or hers his?
No. I said transracial, not transsexual. So trans. I'm trying to. You guys know this. I've been trying to push this transracial thing for the past couple of years, and it's gonna happen because the world is getting crazier, and it's gonna work. Trust me. All right.
Yeah. My brother Jose Julian, he went and got the paper, so he's Mexican now because he bought property in Mexico. So he needed to become Mexican. All he did was paid some money, showed up, and that's it.
There you
Mexican
go.
citizenship.
That's all you got to do. Like De La Hoya did it too. He got his Mexican citizenship, even though he was born in the United States. All right.
Probably because the companies he's opened in Mexico and Guadalajara, the tequila companies.
Yeah,
better for him.
The lingerie companies. The lingerie companies too over there. Yeah. All right. The phone lines are piling up. The phone calls, rather. Let's go back here to the phone lines. Let's go to 213. 213, you're on the air. 213, what's on your mind?
Hey, guys. I want to salute to the panel.
I called a couple of weeks ago, and I had the Hood Rat Leprechaun winning by knockout, 10th round or before. Yeah, I really feel that the weight drain, the catch weight, the hydration clause, I have it affecting Ryan more than it affects Tank. And I wanted to add something else, guys. And this is Campos, by the way. I forgot to leave my name last time on the prediction. Now,
okay, so hold on. So you said Campos.
Benavidez,
your official prediction is Ryan by this Garcia by decision. You said, or
no, the Hood Rat Leprechaun by decision. I'm sorry, 10th round knockout, 10th round knockout or before. Sorry.
I got you.
I wanted to kind of mention. I wanted to mention a couple of observations. Does anyone know the actual numbers for Benavidez versus Plant?
No. Jimmy heard 50,000. No, what was it? 40,000. Jimmy, what was it? 40,000? Is that what you heard? Or is that the number that's floating out there? Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I had 59,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is why I'm saying.
I heard 50.
Yeah. Okay. This is why the reason I say that I'm in East LA. Nobody here bought the Benavidez Plant fight. Nobody I know. We had carne asadas. No one bought the fight. Mostly white people, Mexicans and Asians. They mostly don't stream fight. I'm not trying to make it about race. Now I'm asking people about the Garcia versus Tank fight. Again, no one's buying it out here, and the reason they don't want to buy it. Many have said because Tank has become a Fraud Mayweather Jr. Part 2 because of the catch weight, because of the hydration clause. I don't know anyone who's going to buy it. I was gonna split it with a buddy. He turned it down, and I was asking you guys how many pay-per-view buys do you think it's going to get? Because as far as me out here, I honestly, guys, I work in one of my jobs. I work with 300 people. Normally, we'll have about 40 or 50 people that'll say, hey, yeah, I'm going to get the fight. No one's getting the fight. They're saying they're going to save their money and get Haney versus Loma.
Wait a minute. That is a shocker to me. First of all, it's a shocker that also it was a shock to hear that Benavidez planted that low. That's a shame. I feel bad for them. But I'm also shocked by what you're saying, that the people you're hanging around with would prefer to pay for Loma versus Haney rather than this fight, which is, everyone's been saying that supposedly this fight, Leonard Ellerby, De La Hoya, they're saying whoever wins this fight is the next big face of boxing. De La Hoya even went as far as saying that this is the fight that's going to save boxing. And you're saying no. So guys on the panel, what do you think? How if you had to predict, how many pay-per-view buys does this fight Garcia Tank Davis do on the Saturday?
I'd say if it hits 500,000 because of Ryan.
I'd say no more than 300,000.
I'm gonna go. I'll go a little higher than you recognize, but I'm with you. I don't think it's gonna cross 500. If it hits that mark, it's because of Ryan, not because of Tank. And as far as what Ellerby and real quick, what Ellerby and De La Hoya saying, they're the promoters. They're supposed to make it sound like it's going to be like that.
I'd say, I'd say around 750, Chief, 700 to $1 million, because it's going to be on the Zone and Showtime. And if you're already subscribed to the Zone, are you really going to stream it somewhere else for free? No, might as well. You got it in the Zone, and you don't want to be lagging behind. So you got the Zone. Hey, they show it to you for a reasonable price. You'll be like, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and get it because I'm already subscribed to the Zone.
Well, the DAZN is only in Europe. That's only if you're Europe, not in the United States. You have to buy the Showtime if you live in the United States. Because I pay for DAZN, and I still have to pay because it's being shown through Showtime. And at 80, or it's actually more money, right? They raised it up by another $5. So instead of $74.99, I think it's $80 or no, 84, something crazy. No, because of that, because they raised it to, I think 300, because Tank's never done more than 220's been the highest they've ever claimed. Again, Showtime, and that was out of Espinosa's mouth. So I don't know. Probably,
and also, guys, Jimmy, you gotta think he's got a lot of followers on Instagram, and a lot of them are probably girls, and them chicks don't know how to steal a fight, and they'll probably say, "Mommy, Daddy, fight in the fight, Garcia fighting." Right?
Listen, I agree, but here's my theory. if that was the case, right? If he had fans who like whether they're the guys, girls, or whoever they are who like him, and he does have unbelievable amounts of social media pull. But when his fights were free, how come the viewership numbers were not that great? When they could get it for free on television, Showtime.
I don't know about that, but Rick Glazer was saying that the subscriptions went up every time he fought. So is that going to translate into pay-per-view buys here? There's the question. We don't know.
Before he was on DAZN, even when they were tracking it, like by Nelson ratings, he wasn't lighting on fire.
Right.
So I'm just saying, what was that going to translate to? Suddenly, people buying 1 million pay-per-views. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if it happened. But good for boxing if it does.
Well, people in the chat are saying 500,000. Some people. Yeah, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's Campos again. Yeah, and here's the thing. When the Benavides Plant fight happened, we normally have restaurants here in East LA, the LA area, and they have like a cover charge. You see the fight and you eat. I could not find a restaurant having the Benavides Plant fight. At this particular moment, as of today, I cannot find a restaurant that has the Garcia Tank fight.
Whoa.
So if anyone has seen the fight, yeah, that's why. I'm only asking guys because I truly want this fight to be a success. Now, the comment that people keep making on why they're not buying the fight, they automatically assume that Ryan's losing because Tank is cheating because of the hydration and the weight loss. They're calling Tank Floyd Mayweather Jr. Part 2. That's what they're calling him.
Interesting, man.
Anyway, that's my call, guys.
Let me ask the caller. Can I ask the caller?
Yeah, that's my call.
Real quick.
Yeah, Campos, Recognize has a question for you. Go ahead, Recognize. Yeah.
Campos, so I'm assuming you grew like you spent a lot of your years in East LA, right?
Yeah, I live out here.
Okay, the reason why is the question is, so you saying that the bars are not they're not showing the fight because it's basically a fraud fight. Do they show any other? Has it in the past? Have they shown a lot of fights, especially from fighters from California in East LA? And is that a thing that if that was happening, have you noticed that it stopped in the last year or two?
Well, look, fights here, boxing here in the LA area and East LA is very popular. So when you go to bars, if it's not a pay-per-view fight, it's like the ESPN fights. It's like the fights that you don't pay for. When you go to the bar, those are free. Now, on pay-per-view fights, it's very popular here. Like it doesn't always have to be, as long as, first of all, if it's not a Mexican or a Mexican American fighter or a Hispanic fighter. So in East LA, they follow a lot of Puerto Rican and Cuban fighters. So if it's not one of them, then obviously it's going to be another American fighter. Well, you can always go to the restaurant. You pay anywhere from $25 to $35 to get in, and then you have to commit to buying dinner. Buying dinner or like 2 drinks. This has always happened historically with all fights until recently. It didn't happen for Plant Benavides, and it's not happening for Garcia Davis.
That's interesting,
Gotcha.
Man.
It's interesting because you would think Garcia, who's I believe from the LA area or at least Southern California, you would think that they would show his fight against Tank, but you feel like that people think that this fight's a fraud from the beginning, and I'm starting to think that too, because I watched Ryan Garcia's especially his last fight with what's the Dominican kid's name? Fortuna. And I watched that fight. That fight was at 140. And when I saw that fight, I said, man, that Ryan Garcia, I don't think Tank could beat that guy. I don't think he could beat that guy. I think that guy could beat Tank. But if you see the uncertainty that I have now is the weight cut, because he does look sunken in the face. His eyes are okay. I always look at the eyes, but they're still looking a little tired. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's an interesting point right there, man. And listen, Campos, I'm very intrigued by that, what you're saying, that this fight, because even Timothy Figueroa in the chat says, imagine this fight flops. Listen, if this fight flops or underperforms, you're going to be seeing, I hope not, knock on wood, I hope this doesn't happen, but I think you might see some Showtime execs jumping out their windows like it's the 1920 economic crash. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully everything's hunky-dory. But listen, Campos, thank you for your call, and call back next time, all right, man?
All right. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.
You too, man. Take it easy out there. By the
Goodbye.
way, he says he was.
BDA,
He says he was
Mr.
born in
BDA,
East LA,
if
by
this
the way.
fight flops, sorry, what did you say?
He was born in East LA, he said. Like the song.
Oh, really? Oh, born in East LA.
That's right.
Yeah, if this fight flops, BDA, this means boxing is dead and boxing will never die. It's been living for, I don't know, over 100 years. It's been alive, it never dies.
That's right. Yeah, boxing is the cockroach of sports. I think it's going to be very hard to kill, that's for sure.
But obviously, you know something? But obviously, boxing has been surviving in terms of economics because they clearly don't do the numbers that the yesteryear superstars do. I'll give you a comparison. Canelo, like, he averages somewhere around 700,000 pay-per-view buys, right? Something like that. Is that fair to say?
That would be fair to say, yes.
Where a guy like, let's say, his counter of the past would be somebody like De La Hoya. De La Hoya would do a little bit over that, close to 1 million. But that was when pay-per-view was at its peak. Now, with all these alternatives to watch fights, you would expect those numbers to be lower. Even at the superstar level, you expect those numbers to drop down a bit. So in a way, like, when you take that into consideration, these guys are doing the same numbers that, in terms of their status in the game, that the guys in yesteryears did. But you see, what Campos was saying, the kid from LA, I found that to be very intriguing because LA is especially East LA, is a fighting. It's a community where there's a lot of boxing fans, especially somebody coming from Mexico. Now, I'm not there, so I'm taking his word for it. If he's saying that he's noticed that they're not interested in showing fights, especially of a guy like Garcia's background, in the East LA area, that tells you the significant drop in terms of the interest of boxing, and even in a community like East LA, which is a big boxing community.
Yeah, man. I mean, Steve Kim's been saying. Yeah, Steve Kim's been saying how difficult it is, increasingly difficult to find a venue that shows boxing. They're mostly going for UFC. But listen, we'll get back to this subject because we got a couple of phone calls to get to here. Right. Some people have been waiting. Let's get back to the phone calls, but remind me that we got to get back to it because I was intrigued by that phone call there from Campos and what you guys are saying. Let's go back to the phone lines real quick here. Don't forget to hit the like; really helps us out. I see we got to 100, so I'll stop pestering you for the moment. Let's go to 747. 747, you're on the air. 747. What's in your mind?
Yo, this is Jay Money. And this fight kind of reminds me of the movie, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And in that movie, there's this head ape, right? And his name is Cornelius. And he kind of resembles Tank Davis, to be honest. And in that movie, he's getting beat up by like a light-skinned guy, and all the apes are around him. So it kind of looks like Baltimore. That's kind of like the seating that I'm kind of getting right now. And they're kind of like jumping around. And he's getting hit, and he gets beat up, right? And that's kind of how the movie progresses. And Tank Davis, or in this case Cornelius, he hits him, and then he says no. And then all the apes start jumping around. Well, that's not gonna happen in this fight. He's gonna walk into a punch on the 8th round. He's gonna knock him out. He's gonna feel the power going into the fight. And he's gonna feel the power in the earlier rounds, and he's gonna lose his confidence. He's gonna overextend himself, and he's gonna get clipped in the 8th round. That's my prediction.
Whoa! Now, please tell me you're not basing your prediction on a movie.
No. I just saw that movie yesterday. The resemblance was just too much. It just came into me like how sometimes in the old times they say like, how did the people write the Bible? It just came like the spirit, the essence. And that's just what happened. It came out like
that's exactly how the Bible was written. You got it right on the money. By the way, Jay Money, I heard you. No pun intended. Jay Money. I heard you on Ringside Reporter. What was it, Saturday? No, Sunday. And you were going at it with with the panel about Canelo and how he's not obligated to go to Showtime. That was a very good debate, man. I've seen you on other panels, man, going solo there and just tearing it up, man. I mean, I gotta give you credit for doing that, man.
Oh, I learned from the best. I learned from listening to you guys for 3 or 4 years. Then that's how my balls dropped, over the course of time. I was kind of nervous. And to anybody out there that's listening, it is kind of like a performance. So a lot of guys, when they initially call in, they might sound kind of timid or kind of scared because you're kind of nervous, You never called before, you never called into the show. But over the course of time, your balls will drop. You'll get a little hair on your chest, a little hair on your face, and you'll become a little bit more confident.
And it's like
who are you going against? Was it Joe or Eric on Ringside Report? Who was it? Who were you arguing with most? Was it Joe or Eric?
Oh, it was I forgot his name. He was kind of I was just talking about how the tribalism is in the sport is real, and that's just how it is, to accept it.
Well, I'll say this, man. Shout out to a Ringside Reporter because he did Peeps did an excellent job of creating entertainment from. I mean, that's all we try to do here with people. I mean, we try to entertain people through boxing talk, and he certainly delivered a good discussion and a good panel, and it was fantastic, I must say. So shout out to you, J Money, and
for sure.
Catch you on the next one, man.
Have a good rest of the show, guys.
You too, man. Take it easy.
Later, Jay.
That was J Money, aka Josh. I think he's alternating there between names. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Thank you for getting us to 100. But we can go a little extra hard, the extra mile. That's what I say. It's when I train people, by the way, I always tell them 10 reps, and then they do 10 reps, and I go, one more. It's always one more. Even if it's that they're beyond the limit, or they think they're beyond the limit, I go, come on, let's get serious now. That was just a little foreplay. Now we're really getting down to it. So get to it. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 301. 301, you're on the air. 301, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, that's a good strategy, BD. Yeah, what I like to do is something similar. When I train people, I get them to do a high rep set, and then I count them down, and whenever they get close to within 5, I'm like, okay, 3 more. When they're 2 away, I'm like, okay, 3 more. I get over and over again until they think I'm fucking with them. And they're because they've lost count. They don't know. I just keep doing it to see until they say, oh my god, all right, good job.
You're a sadist. You sound like a sadist, man. But well, by the way, who is this again? So I can take down your prediction.
This is Irish Andre Ward.
Irish Andre Ward, yeah. I knew from the sense of humor there. So what's up, man?
Yeah, nothing. I've listened to your 2 previous episodes or so, and I mostly agree with the way you size up the parameters. Although all the stream of callers, or not callers, but some of the people chiming in, not understanding the idea of favoring one guy by a little bit doesn't mean there's a huge gulf. What was really funny to me, especially when we're talking about ring IQ, I think a lot of these guys should take an IQ test themselves. See if they can understand the conditionals. But nonetheless, even though I mostly agree, I still feel there's this basic deficiency with Ryan Garcia when he sticks his chin in the air, and most of his opponents were not able to exploit it, except for Campbell, who, I'll save you my rant on Campbell. Basically, this guy is less than the sum of his parts, He may be a gold medalist, but he's a gold medalist from London. We all know how that tournament was stacked. I mean, just look at Anthony Joshua, how he, quote-unquote, won his medal over an overturned draw. But, yeah, he's always come up short, and he's never really, showing any killer instinct. Even Ryan Garcia said that. He's like, Campbell's never had a killer instinct. He was talking shit about him after he won. And, yeah, I just think, Garcia's going to get caught eventually. I would take Davis to stop him right around the 8th round. The only variable is, of course, Davis could deteriorate, but I feel just his fight instincts would be enough to beat a guy like Garcia. But who knows? I mean, one thing I did want to say, though, is I think regardless of who wins the fight, I don't think we'll be seeing too much more of the winner, because I feel Ryan, he said before he wanted to retire by 25 or 26. He's almost that age. And you think, what other fights are out there for him? I don't think he wants to fight Devin Haney. I think Haney will probably just outbox him to a boring decision, and that will lose a lot of luster with his fans. All the guys at 140 probably just, put the beating on him and, make him, worse for wear. So I don't see where he goes, and Davis is out of bums over there in that stable.
Hold on, Irish Underwood, I missed it. So what's your prediction?
Oh, my prediction is Davis right around 8th round stoppage, let's say, like late stoppage.
Round.
I would say his catch Ryan with that chin in the air.
A lot of people are going with 8th round. I think that's because Jimmy said 9th round, so people are sort of hovering around that number. And you're right, man. I mean, Ryan Garcia, after this fight, if Garcia wins, he probably moves up, and I would suspect maybe Davis does the same thing. But anyway, listen, and Irish, we got to move on. Thank you for your call. And catch
I wanted to ask one last thing. I don't want to hold up too much, but I think Joe Cordenas fighting this Rakhmadinos guy. That's a pretty interesting fight this weekend. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that or if any had a chance to look at it, because the rest of this card, let's be honest, is terrible. The Davis card, but I'm interested in this UK card.
Yeah, that fight is fantastic. That's a very good appetizer before the big event. But this one is a good fight. Like if it was the only fight of the day, I'd be content with it. Cordina can crack. Meanwhile, Rakimov is easy to hit, but he's proven that, like in his last fight against Safari or whatever his name was, he took his lumps, got dropped. Yeah, but he kept on coming. So he's a tough guy. He can go to the body, man. And Cordina looks like those classic fast twitch muscles guy that might not be able to really put up a high output during the fight. So I hesitate to pick a winner, man. It's like Zhang versus Joyce. If one guy really works his game plan well, he could pull it off. But then again, the other guy's got things that he can do to counterbalance that. So it's the same thing here, man. We're gonna talk about it more later.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But thank you for your call there, Andrew.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like their weaknesses and strengths play into each other, just like you said. So I think it's a great fight to watch. All right, well, thanks for letting me chime in here. I hope you have a good night, and look forward to hearing the rest of what you guys had to say.
Absolutely. Thank you for your comment. Take it easy out there. All right, that was Andre Irish Ward. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 956. 956, you're on the air. 956, what's in your mind?
About this fight, I was thinking, because people were saying, first of all, is it going to be a good fight or is it going to be a boring fight? And what's the deal? And I feel like with Tank, you look at all the past fights he's had, especially against tall opponents. He likes to move a lot. You look at the Barros fight. You look at the Rolly fight. They weren't necessarily good fights. They were, Rolly was on, Tank was on the back foot a lot. So I've seen Ryan fight movers. I've seen Ryan fight the African guy, can't remember his name, a lot of lateral movement. Ryan doesn't do good with that. Ryan doesn't do good chasing someone laterally. Tank can move laterally decently. He can pick his shots. My thing is the stamina. I think Ryan's stamina is underrated. Tank's stamina is not so great, so that's an edge for Ryan. But I feel like Ryan does his best when you kind of come towards him. When you kind of stand your own ground and you guys trade a bit, most of his best knockouts are guys coming to him. Tank's not going to really come to him, right? But then you also risk that you might get outboxed like you were in the Rolly fight or maybe in the fucking Barros fight too. If you take away the KDs in the Barros fight, Barros was arguably outboxing Tank just by volume. So that could be the case in Ryan versus Tank too. So I can see the fight going multiple ways. But one thing that stands out to me the most is you have a guy like Ryan who hasn't fixed his deficiencies yet. He hasn't fixed his defense yet. Chin up in the air still. His defense after a certain punch or a certain combo isn't the best either. Tank, I don't think Tank's the best boxer. I don't think he's very good coming forward. But one thing Tank is great at is it's exploiting weak defense and getting a KO. That's one thing he does. And if Luke Campbell can find an opening in just the second round, what is Tank going to do, So there's a lot of shit in this fight, man. People don't understand.
You got to pick
also,
somebody.
Ryan,
you got to pick somebody.
Pretty well, too. Like, Ryan, people sleep on Ryan's distance control. It's pretty good. Tank's not that good at cutting distance and open up an offense against a long fighter. So, like, I'm just speaking for both fighters. I'm seeing the benefits for Ryan, the benefits for Tank. Put a gun to my head. I have to go with the bigger, longer guy that has speed advantage and the guy that's not going to fucking jail in 3 months. You know, having that, you know, anxiety and shit on him. You know, Ryan's young. He's a 24-year-old kid. Like, what the fuck does he have to worry about? You know, Tank, I mean, baby mama, you know, putting shit all over the house. Yes, you know, he might get arrested, or he's getting arrested in 2 months. There's a lot of shit going on with Tank. Like, you put yourself in Tank's shoes, like, it's a lot of fucking drama. Like, how can he focus correctly? So I'm going with the obvious. I think the obvious is Ryan. Tank's clearly the better boxer, but for one, he's very smaller. And for two, there's a lot of fucking outside drama for him.
Okay, but
So
956.
look,
But
that's my
956. So decision by like what? Unanimous, split decision, majority decision?
Ryan by decision. I would say unanimous decision. I feel like the thing with Tank, he's gonna fall just how Canelo fall, and that's just, you know, you get confident with your KOs. You get confident, like, oh, I know I'm gonna stop him. So you don't mind losing rounds, right? You actually want to, right? Like they say, oh, well, I'm gonna lose rounds just, you know, to open him up, right? Just to give him some confidence so I can find deficiencies in his defense. That's what they do now. Canelo was doing that same shit, so he met the wrong guy. You know, but of course it's different levels. You know, way different levels compared to Canelo, B1, Ryan, Tank. But I got Ryan. But one thing though is that weight cut. Ryan's too fucking big to be weighing at 140ish, 139, 140. He's too big to be weighing like that for the past 2 weeks. He said like a week or two ago that he was already on weight at 139. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you weigh at 146, at least 147, then go down the last 3 days? I think Ryan might be weak. Look, man, I'm on the fence. I don't know who to pick. I got the bigger guy with fat hands. That's just me. Also, I want to go in on a caller 4 days ago. I mean, not 4 days. I mean, a caller 4 calls ago. He was saying that the fight's not selling in East LA and all that bullshit. I think that's a load of bullcrap because I live in Texas in a predominantly Mexican area, and the Benavidez Platt fight was everywhere. I could find that fight in a heartbeat.
All right, well, listen, hey,
easy fight to find.
Let us know let us know on the next show, man. Go out there with a phone and let us know if you're gonna watch it in a restaurant or something, because I want to see that. Because I was intrigued by what Campos said that he couldn't fight the fight. Well, there you go. I've never bought a pay-per-view fight in my life. I don't fuck that shit. But all right, well, listen, we gotta say, look, man, people are talking about this fight like who's gonna watch this fight. You know, you got the Mexicans gonna watch it, the blacks gonna watch it. No one's talking about white people. I feel like this boxing fight, I think, might be the most watched by white people in a very long time. So I see a lot of white kids, these fucking YouTubers, like, you know, the youth like No Jumper, Adam 22, fucking Nelk Boys, right?
Andrew Tate fans, you know, that whole fucking YouTube bullshit. I see a lot of them talk about the fight. So there's going to be a lot of fucking white kids and white people into this fight, not just Mexicans and blacks. So this fight, don't be surprised if it does 1 million.
Whoa, okay, there you go. 956 is saying it's going to make 1 million. We'll see, man. Let's see if this is a big success or if it underperforms. With that being said, 956, thank you for your call, and we'll catch you next one, right, man? Take it easy out there. All right, that was 956. Had a lot to say. Now let's go to 205. 205, you're on the air. 205, what's on your mind?
What's happening, BDA? What's up, panel?
Oh, it's Uncle Charles. What's up, Uncle Charles?
Man, what's happening, man? I can't call it rain, sleet, or snow. But if I got to make some money, I'll make them get in between the raindrops. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Leo Santa Cruz, Rolly Romero, all these guys went to sleep. Pitbull Cruz, the only one, stayed in there with Tank. Why? Because his head was like cement. His head was harder than the other two. So he stood a little bit of a better of a chance. And if you ask me, I think Pitbull Cruz won the fight on point. But it ain't about winning on points. It's about dominating the champ. It's about putting the champ on his ass. It's about beating the champ's ass. Now,
Say what you want to say about King Ryan. He's a good fighter. I know all the ladies love me. I know he got a little teeny bopper girlfriends. But let me tell you something, Ryan. When you get knocked out, and you will get knocked out, remember that song gonna come up in your head. Somewhere over the rainbow. When you hear that, your ass is knocked out. Remember that. All these guys, Shakur Stevenson, all these other guys that top lightweights in the division, you doing all the talking, but nobody making a contract. Why? Because everybody's scared they might go. I don't need to say anymore. I just come to do a good barrel of message to Ryan Garcia. Yes, you're a good fighter, but you will get a new job after you get knocked out. You will be working for Walt Disney in the new movie Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I guarantee you that. And you're going to get drowned in them later rounds, and Tank going to knock you out like he did Roland. Roland talked all that stuff too. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock him out. And yet still, when it's all said and done, 3 books was read to him. Little Red Riding Hood, My 3 Bears, and the Little Engine That Could. And that's all I got to say. Go, Tank, go. Ryan, I gave you a warning. You had a warning, and that's all you're going to get. Appreciate y'all.
All right, Uncle Charles, thank you for your call, man. I always appreciate it. They're always on fire, man. Shout out to him. And I do already got your prediction down as well, man. So shout out to you, Uncle Charles. He said, Tank Davis by destruction. All right, let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 226. 226, you're on the air. 226, what's on your mind?
500.
What's that? 500?
500.
All right.
Yeah, 500.
We're speaking in code now, Slugger Sam. What's up?
500 fights is the number I came up with when I was a kid to consider myself a badass.
No, wait a minute. That's from a movie,
the number
man.
I came up with.
That's from that movie there with Vin Diesel.
I don't
man.
watch movies, man. No, I don't watch any fucking movies. The media, I gotta ask you a question. How come the media, hold on. Aside from the guy that just called in who wants to tell Ryan what's going to happen, how come every fucking caller you get sounds like they're on NyQuil? What's going on with these low dick energy motherfuckers, huh?
Ah, come on, man.
They're calling into the BDA, sounding half, come on. Give me a fucking break over here, huh?
Well, go ahead, man. Liven it up.
Am I live right now?
I said liven it up. Yeah, you're live, man. People are on the edge of their seats waiting for you to say something.
I thought I was backstage with you. My bad. I don't know.
No, keep talking.
But yeah, listen, anyways.
The small dick energy was all he had.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk then. Let me talk. Okay, listen. Let me just say a couple words. Let me say a couple words, okay?
Just a couple. All right.
Keep talking.
I don't know why anybody thinks Garcia's going to win the fight. Hear me out. I don't know why anybody thinks Garcia's going to win the fight, and I'll explain to you why.
Go ahead.
I watched that live stream thing, right, with that, they had the guy fucking wearing purple like a faggot. Whatever his name is, Kina, or whatever. Fucking fruitcake looking motherfucker. Anyways,
oh man,
it's fucking weird today, man.
Go ahead, Slugger, man. Come on, man. You're throwing a monkey wrench into the works here, man.
I'm sorry, man. Okay, anyways, Garcia's confidence looked horrible, man. He kind of like he was almost looking at the camera, like begging for help, like guys. I got no chance. Somebody help me out of this fight, you know? I'm being honest, though. I'm being honest because the thing is, listen, just hold on. I'll tell you side. Like, they made it very hard for Garcia to win the fight, you know? Everything they did, right? Cut him down to 136, all that shit. So and the way Mayweather's moving him, right? Tank, there's no way he wants him to take a loss, man. They know what they're doing, man. So, yeah, don't bet your money on Garcia, man. Not that Garcia can't beat him. I'm just saying they're making it impossible for Garcia to beat him.
Slugger, what's your prediction?
Don't make me be the fucking whistleblower here, man.
What's your prediction? I'm asking the prediction.
Oh, I see this going unanimous decision for Tank.
All right. Thank you, D.
As long as As long as Kenny Bayless is the ref, he'll go to a unanimous decision.
All right. Hey, listen, man. This is the show that I should have had a drink for, because you fucking killing me over here, Slugger. You're killing me. All right. Well, listen. I got your prediction down, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, man.
All right, fellas. You guys take care. Peace.
You too, man. Thank you for calling in there. The one and only Slugger Sam, the Slugmeister, calling in. You gotta watch out, because he'll get you. Don't mess with him. By the way, let me read a couple of super chats here. I'm falling behind here. Shout out to Joshua, who says, Cornelius, that's right, he watched the Planet of the Apes last night and he was inspired. It inspired him to make his predictions. So shout out to Jay Money. Shout out to Pat's Nation for his contribution to Super Chat. He says he's betting one large on Ryan Garcia. Wow. 1K. That's putting his money where his, yeah. And,
listen, I don't know what the odds are, BDA, but I agree with like some of the callers, man. The kid from LA, Slugger Sam, they're making it too hard for. I think you know when you look at what Ryan did, at least for me, when I see what he did against Fortuna at 140, that tells me, like, when I look at his body of work throughout his career, that's where he's at his strongest. Now, I'm not saying that he can't fight at 136. The problem with the 136, number one, is obviously cutting more weight than his stronger point. And by the way, you know, Tank did have a fight with Barrios at 140. Mm-hmm. So he, you know, obviously he can fight there. So and then you take the rehydration course, which I don't know what the weight limit is. So all that being said, look, if Ryan Garcia, if the weight affects him, this fight becomes more difficult and there's a very good shot he loses. If it doesn't bother him and he's strong like he was in the Fortuna fight, I would have to say that Garcia beats Tank. He's just too big. You know what I'm saying? He's just too big for him.
Well, listen. Let me continue reading on some super chats here, and we're 15 minutes. The phone line's close, and we still got some calls. So let me get through this. Shout out to Rafael Garza for his contribution to super chat. He says Ryan Garcia winner by 12-round stoppage. The WBC is already minting the new twink weight, the new twink weight class, which is going to be 136 and 145. Wouldn't surprise me if something like that occurs there. Rafael, thank you for your contribution. Shout out to E-Dog for his contribution as well. He says Ryan 10th round knockout. I hope it's a beating. Also might be some sketchy stuff going on whenever the fight is in the crowd breaks out. Be on the lookout. Yeah. Be on the lookout for a fight in the crowd. Tank Davis tends to attract the undesirables, so there could be some shenanigans there occurring. Let me just write down that prediction. E-Dog says Ryan Garcia 10th round stoppage. There we go. And he's predicting some hijinks there in the crowd. Let's go to the phone lines real quick here because we're running out of time. Let's go to 445. 445, you're on the air. 445, what's on your mind?
Yeah, it's how I feel about the fight. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Let's go.
Hello? Okay, all right, listen. First off, I'm a double G, okay? I'm a Marine. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, Ali, Tyson, Roy Jones, all these boys had we did their runs and they was off the chain. And then you always had somebody out there that eventually was going to take it to them. But Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, Tank is a beast. And I heard Tank say he's going to take him into the drowned waters, take him into the deep waters and drown him. To me, that means that between 7 and 10, Tank going to beat this boy up. He's going to punish him. And I've been watching a little bit about Tank. I've seen a lot of his fights. He is a beast, but he's smart. And he got some good people in his corner. I think Tank going to be smart. He's going to hit him with some deep body shots like he did Barrios. And, of course, that knockout that he did, what was my man that he had him in the corner? And it went that vicious uppercut, damn near killed that boy.
Santa Cruz.
Anyway, yeah. But it's going to be a good fight. I think Tank going to knock him out. I think, again, somewhere I'm going to say 7 to 10. Because I've been watching a lot about it. I think Tank is smart. He got a lot of good people in the corner. And I've been watching him, and he knows his way around the ring. And Tank and Ryan's a bad boy. I can't take him from you. A pretty boy. You know what I mean? He's fast. Everybody know he's jet fast. That's a good thing. But if Tank beat that body down and he slow that boy down, and he get hit him with them shots, all that prettiness is going to go away.
Oh.
I'm looking for a good fight. It's going to be a big fight. I heard people talk about, like when Mayweather and Oscar did their thing, and they both was boom, 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 boom. And everybody know Mayweather is a defensive champ, boom, 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 boom. But the bottom line is, I like Tank. I think he got his head on right. I think he's vicious. And he seemed like he's smart in that ring. And I know Ryan got that power. But you know what? I have not seen Tank hit the deck. Everybody know Ryan got dropped and he got up and won the fight. Okay, good. He showed he a warrior. I respect that. But Tank have never been down.
All right,
to me, that tells a lot.
Hold on. Recognize, hold on, because the phone lines. Recognize, because the phone lines are about to close, and we still get a lot of phone calls here. So, just what do we call you, sir? And what's your prediction? I mean, your official prediction. I get you Tank stoppage 7-10, or between the 7th and 10th round. What do we call you, sir?
7-10. Tank gonna knock him out.
Yeah, and what do we call you, sir? Because I got to write down the prediction.
Call me Double G.
Double G.
Double
there
G.
you go. Double G. All right. Shout out to you, Double G.
Philly. Okay.
From Philly. Thank you for your call, man. I call back next time, right?
Philly, only Philly dudes call themselves Double G's.
All right. Well, shout out to you, Double G. Thank you for your call. Call back next time, man. Take it easy out there.
Okay.
All right, I got to power through these phone calls, fellas, because the phone line's close in 10 minutes, and we still got a lot of phone calls. So bear with me here, please. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Actually, let me read a super chat here because people are super chatting as well. Shout out to E-Dog for his contribution with the super chat. He says, Ryan 10th round knockout. I hope it's a beating. Also, might be some sketchy stuff going on whenever the fight is in the crowd breaks. Oh, I already read that one. Yes, shout out to E-Dog. Shout out to, who is this? Jaden Anthony for his contribution with the super chat. He says, Haney is on death's door making 135, and if he loses, none of y'all, I hate when people use the word y'all, no matter how much you donate with the super chat, I'm going to point that out. He says, none of y'all will be making excuses for him if he loses, including me. We know Tank is going to whoop that ass come Saturday, and I'm taking all bets. Well, I don't think people are going to bet with you. I'm just giving you some advice.
Well, I doubt that I doubt anybody is putting rehydration clauses on Devin Haney. That's the key.
Yeah, that's not the one.
Some people get caught up like, okay, yeah, Haney is a big dude, and I'm sure he's cutting a lot of weight to make 135, but he can rehydrate whatever he wants. The same thing with, I would say, the same thing with Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia could probably make 136, drain himself, but if he was to weigh whatever he weighed against Fortuna, I think that'd make a big difference. And if you don't think so, it's just, I don't know, maybe you don't understand, the way the body works. You don't understand how it is, to go the distance when your body's a little drained.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Yeah, it's a big difference. Haney can't make weight. He's looking rough, but at least he doesn't have a rehydration clause, so that's going to be the big factor there. But shout out to Jaden Anthony for his contribution to Super Chat. Shout out to Pat's Nation, who just donated via Super Chat again. Shout out to him. He says, I would make that bet, but people on YouTube don't pay their debts. Oh, that's a good point there, Pat's Nation. That was what I was trying to say, too, is you don't really want to make bets with strangers, because I've seen some people under their bets, and then there's other people that just disappear, so you don't want to really take that risk. But shout out to both of you guys for donating with the Super Chat. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to 510. 510, you're on the air. 510, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, BDA? I'm just calling back. I had a couple things to point out, too. It's Jonathan. Sorry. Can you guys hear me well?
We can hear you, man. What's up?
All right. So this is first of all, I just want to, make a statement for all the Tank super fans. Over the last year, we've heard them say, well, Tank is the face of boxing, or like, we heard him say Tank is his own boss now, he left Mayweather. And I just want to make it very clear. Tank is still with Mayweather Promotions. Otherwise, we wouldn't be seeing fucking Garage Nose Ellerby here, doing all the interviews, bigging up his fighter. Also, Tank has never been his own promoter, has never been his own manager. Who is it? Tom Brown, I think, is the big ass white guy that always shows up on Showtime cards. That's TGB Promotions. That's his promoter now. As far as management, he is still being managed by Mayweather Promotions, or Ellerby, that is. Otherwise, we wouldn't see these type of rehydration clauses and weight stipulations and whatnot, because that's a Mayweather specialty. So for all the Tank fans listening, I don't know how many there is, BDA, because honestly, if you don't say, "Oh, well, how you doing, King?" I know they're not in the safe space for them or something like that, So any of them listening, just make sure Tank is not his own boss. Tank is still being handled. And as far as I like that, a couple people pointed out that during Tank fights there has been commotion, and especially the last one against Hector Garcia, it just so happened to be, right before Tank turns it around, right? They give him an extra minute or two just to right after he was getting outboxed by Garcia, Hector. But again, it is fishy. The guy just quit on his stool, all because his eye was a little sore or something. I'm not a fighter, so I can't be in there to say something, but it's just a little fishy. Now, on top of that, I don't know if you guys have been up on the news, but it seems I forget his first name, but the current, who was the champion at 140, the WBA champion, Puello, he just got his belt stripped because he popped 30. And now guess what? Instead of mandating a different fight, Rolly Romero is now fighting for the vacant full-fledged title at 140 against a 40-year-old Valenzuelan. And if you guys can't put two and two together, what this means is after fighting Ryan, Tank is not going to fight Devin Haney. He is not going to fight Shakur. What's going to happen is he's going to go up to 140 and fight the same dude he knocked out for a rematch.
All right, well, listen, Forklift Guy, that's an interesting prediction right there. Yeah, I heard that news today about Puello testing positive. I gotta move on here because I'm getting more calls and we're down to the wire here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, Forklift Guy, thank you for your call. I'm gonna hang up on you. Shout out to you, man.
All right.
All right, take it easy, man. Everybody on the phone lines here, I'm gonna hang up on you and I'm gonna restart the phone lines because there's way too many. We can't do it in under 5 minutes. So let me end the everybody I hope you can hear me here on the phone lines. I'm ending it right now and I'm restarting the phone lines and then we'll take your calls. It's a lot of people out here. So let me end the episode here and I'll restart it.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
It's not goodbye. It's see you later, you fucking cunt. I already said it. Anyway, let me restart this. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that, but Rolly Romero was supposed to fight Puello at 140 for one of the belts. And lo and behold, Puello tests positive for something. So now Rolly is going to be taken on Ismael Barroso, who is 40 years of age, can crack, but he's 40 years old. He's been through the ringer a couple of times. He looks like he just came out of the jungle too, by the way. Big-ass ears, and he looks like he's from the movie Apocalypto. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if you guys remember who Barroso is. Anybody on the panel? I got you real quiet now, huh? Can you guys hear me? Oh, shit, you guys can hear me. What the fuck? Hold on, let me see if I can... Fuck. Can you guys hear me?
I don't think you can hear him.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, BDA.
What the fuck was going on?
We can all hear you. You can't hear us.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know what... anyway, yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I know. Mr. BDA, can you hear me? Then Gonzalo's like, no, he can't hear us.
All right. Well, listen. We got a little bit of a break here. I'm going to restart the phone lines, but I don't know if you guys heard my question.
All right, well, listen, I got to bounce. Oh, all right.
I got to bounce?
I got to bounce. I got a financial advisor meeting me and the wife tonight. He's got a wicked good fucking on some storefront property in Chicago. He says I can get it in at a good deal, so.
Oh, come on.
Hey, maybe you can talk to Al Heyman, Jimmy. Give Al Heyman a call.
Some property in Chicago. All right, well, Jimmy, listen, good to have you on board, man, and we'll catch you on Friday maybe if you want to.
No, I was just joking, but I got to bounce too, but I just want to say goodnight to you guys. But no, I was kidding about meeting storefront. Yeah, I was going to invest in some Walmarts or some fucking convenience stores.
All right, man. We'll catch you on the next one, Jimmy. Thank you for being on.
All right, brothers. All right, guys. Peace. Good night, guys.
Good night, man.
Hey, good night,
BDA,
Mr.
can you hear me,
BDA.
BDA?
Yeah, I hear
know
you,
if
fellas.
BDA
I hear you now. I hear you.
Okay, because I was trying to talk to you, and I was like, God damn, I don't think I kept talking, and then all I heard was like, yeah.
Just leave the knockdowns as it is, 2-1. 2 for Ryan Garcia, 1 for Tank Davis, but change it to 11-round stoppage for Ryan Garcia. 11th round TKO.
11th
round.
Wow. Okay.
I'm still gonna stick with a
Yeah.
draw.
Well, early. Ryan's speed and power is too much. That Tank Davis is gonna cover up. He covers up a lot. He only throws 300 punches, so he's got to be very picky as far as picking his shots. So in the beginning, he's gonna cover. They like to say, well, he likes to drown fighters late. Ryan Garcia, hey, this guy can swim. I don't think he's gonna drown him. He runs like 8 miles a day. I'm just thinking the second wind's gonna come out. And when Tank Davis comes from behind on the cards, trying to rally, he's gonna have to open up. Remember, he only throws 300 punches. When he opens up, Ryan's speed is gonna prevail. It's gonna remain second wind, and it's gonna knock him out. I think that's just my opinion, man.
I agree. I agree with you, Gonzalo. I'm not gonna make that pick, but if there's anybody that's gonna get stopped, it's gonna be Tank. I still think the weight is. I'm sorry, but it is something to consider. When I want Ryan Garcia to be at his strongest. At his strongest is where I can make my comfortable pick. That's why I'm just gonna say I'm sticking with my draw. Because
remember,
I don't think Tank's a midget compared to Ryan Garcia. He can't knock Ryan Garcia out unless Garcia is drained to the point where he can't take it anymore, or he fights like Rolly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he fights like Rolly. So.
Remember when we used to talk back in the day, and this was brought up a long time ago. You guys know this. Some of the greatest, I chimed in too. Some of the greatest fighters of all time, pound for pound, have always remained right around the weight where they belong. Julio Cesar Chavez, Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao. They don't tend to blow up. The way they show up on the scale and they pose, they fucking flex their arms. They're fucking cut, fucking chiseled, man. And by the time they fight, they look ordinary, just like kind of the same. And they're beating up everybody, dude. I'm just thinking Ryan's going to show up, man. I think he's special, bro. I know I'm sounding a little fanboyish. He might get knocked out too, but hey, that's why I picked him.
Interesting. I mean, you guys are breaking it down, let me tell you. Now, I had to, for everybody listening out there, I had to restart the phone lines a third time because of the technical difficulties we had with the connection. But if anybody's out there listening, I am reopening the phone lines, so I saw a couple of people that were waiting. You should be good now. Let me see. Hold on. They will be reopened in 19 seconds. All right, I already see we got 480 there. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. See, I'm not bothering you anymore because we got over 100 likes. Now let's go the extra mile there.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
The extra mile. Exactly. Yeah, that's what, like I said, that's what I tell people. An extra rep. If you do an extra rep in training at the gym, you can hit an extra like here. All right, the phone lines are open.
Why I gotta say this. This is why I gotta say this. I gotta harp on this, and I hate to harp on it.
Well,
too much.
If you got a harp, you got a harp.
Garcia at his strongest, he puts Tank out.
Oh,
at his strongest. Yeah. Wow. When he's like 100% at his best, he knocks Tank out because he's too big, man. He's just too big for him. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm talking about the long torso, the K-stand, the long arms, the fast hooks coming from his lead hand, which is his left. I think if that Garcia shows up, which I have my doubts because of the catch weight and the rehydration clause, I think it would be kind of. It's more on the other person to say to explain how Tank can win that, not me. You know what I'm saying? The bigger, stronger guy is the guy you go with. You got to explain to me how this short little dude could beat that guy at his best.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting about the the whatchamacallit, the rehydration clause and the catch weight, people keep saying, well, that's on Ryan Garcia for agreeing. Okay, but by saying that, you agree that there's something afoot here. Or that they did something to try to, to get an advantage. It is an advantage. Now, you can harp on, to borrow, recognize this term, you can harp on Ryan Garcia having agreed to it all you want, but that doesn't change the fact that he's dehydrating himself to get this fight. And again, let me just remind you what Tank Davis said, because people are asking him about this, like, why was a rehydration clause necessary and why was a catch weight? And he said, it's just making sure everything's fair. Which means that if there was no rehydration clause and no catch weight,
fair.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Recognize. What does that mean? That means that if there weren't, then there would be an advantage to Ryan Garcia. He's admitting it.
I was watching his facial reaction. You know me. I like to read people's. Like their reaction is pretty easy. It's kind of. It's not like you got to be a fucking psychiatrist. You could just look, and you could see. Tank was. He saw something in Ryan. He's like, "Oh, you look drained." So he had this confidence about him when he was doing that show with that with the kid with the dreads, the dark skin,
the weirdo, the weirdo,
that weirdo, yeah, him. Okay, he saw something and he enjoyed it because he's a sadist, right? Like part of being a narcissist is also being like a sadist. A sadist is like somebody who enjoys embarrassing their victims, right? Whether it's sexual or in violence or whatever. And so I saw that in him. I saw that. And I said to myself, damn, Ryan doesn't understand. This guy's not a nice dude. He's not a nice person. You should have never did that. You should have been like, yo, fuck that. You want to fight me? You fight me at my 100% best. Because when you do that to a narcissist like him, what happens is it's a standstill. He doesn't have no mental edge. He has to create a mental edge. You know what I'm saying? So that could help him. Yeah, that could help him with his fragile ego, that it's like, oh, I see weakness in him. You know what I'm saying? I could see it. I could see it in his face. He doesn't look too confident. He looks like he's talking out of instinct to protect himself and hoping that I don't see that he's drained. Let me get to the phone lines here because there's people that have been waiting since we had to restart. But I want to get back to that the Wayne and the rehydration clause and how people are making excuses for Tank Davis. It's bizarre. Let's go to 480. 480, you're on the air. 480, what's on your mind?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? So look, I have Tank winning this fight. Surprise, surprise. I don't see anything that Ryan Garcia does better than Tank Davis. And Recognize, and by the way, what's up, Recognize? Long time no see. I don't see anything that Ryan Garcia does better than Tank. Recognize said that he's the bigger, stronger man, but that doesn't really. Boxing is not like that. It's about skills. And last time I checked, Tank has the better skills.
I agree with you. I agree. I think if you talk about skills, I think Tank's better. But no, sometimes size do matter, my brother. I'm telling you. You don't want to think that way. Don't think that way. You fuck around with a dude who's bigger than you, stronger than you, he'll fucking knock your head off even if you're way skilled than him. All you got to do is land one on you. And you got to keep that in mind.
Size matters if the skill level. Size matters. The skill level is.
Hold on. Let
a huge gap.
Go ahead, Ray. Reed.
Okay. So yeah, size matters if the skill level is close to each other or maybe even above. But to me, it's a huge gap. So that's why. Do you honestly think if the skill level were close, LRB and whoever would make this fight? No, because the size advantage is too big for Ryan Garcia, so it would be too difficult of a fight to overcome. So that's why this fight was being made in the first place. They have no respect for Ryan Garcia's skill set. He even said it himself. All you have is a left hook. So I mean, maybe Ryan Garcia will show something we've never seen before, but from what I've seen, I don't think he has a chance. He has a puncher's chance. Let me just say that. Everybody has a puncher's chance, but
what's your official prediction? I gotta write it down.
Late round knockout, like 10.
You mean late fight?
Yeah.
Stoppage. Okay, hold on a second. You don't want to pick around?
Late stoppage.
Late fight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's
Say that
up,
again?
Red Bree, man? Long time.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
What's up, Red Bree? Long time no hear from, brother.
What up, man?
I didn't know it was you. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know you said your name.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, look, Ryan. In order for Ryan to win, he has to maintain distance, and that's hard to do if you don't have good footwork. Like, you have to be able to move. You can only. You have people say, well, he's got long arms and he's got the reach advantage over Tank, so he should be able to keep distance. But if you don't know how to pivot and maneuver, like, that's hard to do. So I don't see how he does that for, especially if he is going to win this fight, he has to knock out Tank. He's not going to win a decision, because that would mean he has to outbox Tank, and he's the one with the lower boxing IQ. How is that going to happen? So
well, we shall
there you go.
see,
That's my
man.
prediction.
All right, Robert, I got that prediction written down. Hold on a second. Gonzalo wants to say something. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, just because you get a knockout doesn't mean that you throw your IQ down the trash, because a lot of people, like, they say, okay, if he wins decisions, he always wins decisions, and the other guys getting the knockouts, doesn't mean that the guys getting the knockouts doesn't have IQ. And I think, you know what, Robert, he's fast, and he's not ambivalent. You got to be hot or cold. His game plan is to land first. And that's all you have to think about when deciding, okay, you think this guy or that guy's going to win. I'm thinking Ryan clips him first, and then he's out. All that IQ and all that ambivalence about what is he going to do here, what is he going to do there, goes out the window. In this game, hey, there's no second places. Who lands first, it might land last, and that's it.
Okay, and last point, but we've seen many times, and I don't know why people never learn this lesson, skills pay the bills. Fury and Wilder proved that. Stevenson, Valdez proved that. The more skilled fighter usually wins the fight. I mean, can you give me an example where that wasn't the case?
Yeah, in Maidana versus Bronner. Maidana versus Bronner.
Yeah, go ahead,
okay.
Yeah, Maidana was. I mean, he almost even pulled it off against Mayweather. Maidana did, and he was people said he was a rock. What do they call it in Spanish? A rock thrower, like a Neanderthal. No skill.
I'll give you one. I'll give him one. Deontay Wilder. Tyson
You thought
Fury,
Maidana won the first one?
Hold on. Recognize is saying something. Which one? Recognize?
Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was the first one. He's getting outboxed throughout the whole fight. For all intents and purposes, he landed the punch to knock him out. He landed that punch that he needed to knock him out. The only thing is that that Fury got up. So, like, even in that fight where he was, where he was like, obviously the other guy had better skills, Tyson Fury. He was getting outboxed for 12 rounds, and then in the last round he landed the combination shot he needed. It's just that the dude got up.
Okay. Maybe I should have said 9 times out of 10, but either way, obviously there's going to be some examples here and there, but most of the time the guy with the higher skill set usually, wins out. But anyways, I digress.
It usually does. Yeah.
We'll see, man. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight. That's why I'm amazed when people are making the predictions here. I'm looking at the list, and when people go there, I rarely am cocksure of a prediction. I always give the other guy a chance, so that even if I pick fighter A, I'm not surprised if fighter B picks it off, pulls it off. And I think it's the same thing with this fight. It's you guys out there that are making your definitive predictions. You got balls, man. More balls than I do. That's for sure.
Hey,
all right, well, listen. What?
BDA, recognize. Yeah.
Well, let me just. Okay, Ray, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, that was it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for your call. Catch you on the next one, man. Take it easy out there.
When you were mentioning his skill set, recognize, I was going to mention something. Snap. Ryan Garcia got a lot of snap. The recoil on that left hook is insane. I'm not even going to delve into if he got IQ, if he don't have IQ. It's not a math test. This ain't fucking. You ain't fucking taking a quiz at school. He's got the snap when he recoils into that left, and sometimes that's why the right hand will set you up for that left hook. Because he's got enough, he could put enough respect on that straight right or right hand, whatever you want, type of right hand, that when he throws it, he's going to hurt you or he's going to catch your attention, but he's also going to place he's going to be in position. He's going to get in the right position to throw that left hook and turn it. So he got a lot of snap on that shot, and he uses the right hand for that to set the left hand up.
I mean, listen, it's going to be. I want to talk more about that. But we still got people on the phone lines here from the last time we had to shut them down. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Let's go 408. You're on the air. 408. You're on the line. What's up?
Hello?
Yes, 408. You're on the air.
You hear me? Yeah, I'm for it. Okay. I think that Ryan is good, but I think he doesn't have the build to take a punch. Because I saw his neck, and I've been working on his neck muscles, but he only increased the middle of the neck. He didn't increase the size of the neck. So if he gets hit, he's going to get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Gervonta's neck, it's thick. So he can take a better punch. So they're both going to get hit. And that's my prediction. I think he's going to get knocked out.
So
right.
You're right about the neck. That absorbs the impact and the shock. But who are you picking then? And by the way, why do I call you so I can write it down here on the list?
Oda. ODA.
Oda. And you're saying Tank by stoppage?
Yeah. Yeah, Tank, because, again, about the body, too. And they also been spying on his camp, and they know everything he's working on.
Oh.
So, in other words, it's a rigged fight. That's why a lot of people are going with... I wanted to bring that up to you, BDA. You notice, like, people are, right... The way they make their comments and predictions, it's like the script is already written. It's like, oh... Tank is going to go move up in weight. He's going to avoid Devin Haney and Shakur. Yo, how do you know Devin Haney is going to beat Lomachenko? You just dismissing Lomachenko. I mean, is Devin Haney that, like, when you do the eye test, is Devin Haney in your mind that much better than Lomachenko, even if you think he is? You know what I'm saying? Is it a far gone conclusion?
Yeah,
is it a far gone conclusion that Tank's going to beat Ryan Garcia 100%, then it's not a real fight. Then it's a scripted fight.
It's not 100% because he can hit him dead on.
No, I'm not talking about the caller. I'm talking about your past callers are like. I noticed they're making these.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan can hit him dead on the. You notice to give Ryan credit. If you see him on the speed bag, he's very accurate. So he can hit you dead on the temple and very fast. So he doesn't have to hit the neck. You hit it somewhere on the temple, he's out.
That's right.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Gervonta had.
All right. Well, listen, Oda, I got you down here. I got you down for a Tank stoppage because of the neck size, which I think might be a factor.
But yeah. And I think, again, if he wins, Ryan, he'll knock him out in the first 1 through 4.
Oh.
Get him dead on the temple really quick.
All right.
Ryan will win on 1 through 4. So I made 2 predictions. So
well, I'll only allow 1. That's it.
Ryan early.
Okay, I'll write.
I'll be nervous the whole fight.
Well, that's what boxing's all about, man. That's what life's all about. You got to be nervous. If you don't get nervous, that means you're not having fun. Well, listen, Oda, thank you for your call. Call back next time, right, man?
Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks.
That's right. Living on the edge. That's what it's all about. That's what I always do, by the way. Life is about taking risks. If you're not fearing for your life, you ain't living.
Did you write down my new prediction?
Yes, I did, Gonzalo. And I'll get. If you want to change it, I'll ask you before we end the show.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not changing it again. I'm just fucking saying. Confident that I'm just keeping it. I got balls, man.
Okay.
Seriously, I fucking got balls.
I want to ask you about that. I'm going to get to you guys, but let me just get through the phone calls because again, we had a lot of people waiting. 442, you're on the air. 442. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I think that it's going to be like a crazy fight. I think it'll be something like Rolly Romero versus Tank. Like both people are just going to be super wary about hitting each other at all. I think that if Tank can make Ryan fight smaller, which I think he can do because he's done that before. If he can just hit Ryan with something that just makes him punch shy, then I think it's Tank's fight, honestly. And I'm going for Ryan because he's the underdog and I'm Mexican, so that's the thing to do. But I don't know, like Tank really, I think that's in his bag, and he would find a way to win, even if he gets hurt or something. But to me, it's like a 60-40. I don't know.
60-40 for whom?
For Tank. But you're
and
I also think that it. Oh, my bad.
Well, I gotta write down your prediction. So first of all, what do we call you? And second of all, what's your official prediction?
Okay, my official prediction would be that Tank stops him round 11.
All right, Davis 11 round stoppage.
And I'm Mile.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mile. But one last thing, I think that Tank, like, they have different mentalities. I think if Tank starts losing, it would be a situation where Tank is like super frustrated. I think the more he loses, the more like panicked he gets really frustrated. Where with Ryan, when he loses and he gets panicked, he starts looking around and having like this existential crisis. I think we'll see some of that tonight for sure.
All right, man. We'll see. By the way, what do we call you?
That Maya.
Maya?
Mayo.
Mayo. How do I spell it? Like Mio or Mayo with a Y?
Yeah. Mayo with a Y.
Mayo. There you go. Okay, I got you.
I've already done like, a few Tank versus Ryan predictions, and it's been all over the place. But I think I'm going with Tank close to the fight.
All right. Well, there you go. You got to stick to. You can always call in and change it back because we're going to be doing a show on Friday. Open lines, open panels, so anybody can jump on. If you want to change your mind, you're certainly welcome. All right. Catch you on the next one, Mayo. Take it easy, man.
All right, for sure.
All right. Let's go.
His name is probably Ismael, like Ismael Mayo Zambada.
Yeah, that's probably short for. Yeah, I got it. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 949. 949. You're on the air. 949. What's on your mind?
Hey, this is Zero Cool. I'm sticking with my prediction about decision Ryan. I do think that Tank has a good opportunity to do a knockdown. The only thing that I would hope for is that the ref actually counts to 10 instead of just instantly waving it off or something like that.
Right,
I think he might be able to get cheated that way. But other than that, I do see it Ryan by decision. If not, maybe a raw redraw for draw in general. But yeah, I just I think that Ryan's been increasing his head movement a little bit, especially since he always keeps it out for too long. That's something that I've been told that he's been working on a lot. But other than that, we got to see how disciplined he is, not wanting to just come out like Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos, thinking that he was going to knock him out in the first, second round, and, get, hit down himself, Right. So, as long as he's fighting smart, then, I give it a good chance. And the last thing I wanted to say to Rare Breed, when he was mentioning skilled fighters or whatnot, or how Ryan with the less IQ could win. Well, if you look at back into Tank's most recent fights, the last 3-4, he loses a lot of the early rounds. If anything, 4 to 5 rounds he loses out of the 6. So I mean, he's always counting on his power to end the fight. Look at Barrios; he dropped him a couple of times, and even at that, his corner was telling him that he was down in the cards and he needed a TKO. Ryan is a better fighter than Barrios, so if he was getting walked down by Barrios, then I don't see Tank, like taking it too well from Ryan Garcia. But obviously the rehydration clause does, kick into effect. So we got to see how everything is. During the weigh-in and then the morning of. I think I would be a lot more confident to say 100%. But it'll be decision.
Well, there you go. That's a breakdown from Zero Cool right there. I got your prediction down too from the last time you called in. And thank you for your call. We'll catch you on the next one, man. Take it easy out there.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too, man. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 407. 407, you're on the air. 407, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up? Is the connection coming good from your end?
Yeah, everything's coming in all right, man. Who is this, by the way?
All right, just want to make sure. This prediction is a little risky, but I think it's going to be Ryan TKO in the 7th round, or KO, basically stoppage. I'm not sure what kind, but I think he's going to use distance pressure. Like, he's going to use his jab, he's going to use his straights, he's going to get his left hook in there, and when Tank is on the ropes, he's going to get some combos eaten. Now, I do think they're going to drop each other, but I think Ryan's going to have more knockdowns, and he's going to have the last knockdown. And, yeah, I know Tank could win, but I just got a feeling Ryan's got it. The main reasons are because of some of the stuff you guys discussed the other day, not the film study one, but the one before that.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing, like a few of you guys have said, Tank takes too many rounds away, and you can't do that with someone who hits like Ryan. And even, like, I think in the Garcia fight, he got hurt to the body by Hector Luis Garcia, who's not a big puncher, respectfully, but I can't, if he takes shots like that from Ryan, it's not going to end well. Either way, because I know Ryan has the rehydration clause and all that stuff, but I think Tank's time is going to be up when it comes to losing rounds, and he's going to pay the price for it. So, yeah, Ryan TKO in 7.
Oh, okay. Is this Gerson Medina, by the way?
It could go decision. Yes, also known as Boricua, also known as Diaz and Gerson in Discord.
All right, Gerson, I got your prediction there. 7 rounds. A lot of people are going with the back and forth, man.
What's up?
Even when people pick either fighter, they're saying that they're gonna be trading knockdowns. So people are expecting a firefight, man. So, Gerson, thank you for your call, man, and we'll catch you in the next one, man.
I hope so. All right, you guys take care. God bless.
You too, man. Take it easy out there. All right, that concludes the phone lines are still open, but I think we're going to be leaving in about 10-15 minutes. I did want to ask you, I got to go to the bathroom, by the way. So I was going to call it the piss room, but I think I'm going to have to change the name to that. It's too crass. But before I go over there...
Latrine. Call it Latrine, BDA.
La Latrine, yes. It's more official that way. Somebody said that supposedly if Tank Davis starts getting frustrated, the hood is going to come out of him and he's going to start fighting dirty. Do you guys agree with that? And you guys take over. I'll be right back.
Could be like he did against Pitbull Cruz. Initiate the tussle, then he's going to blame all the other guy that was wrestling me down. But like Ryan Garcia... It
might be harder.
If he says... Yeah, could be like... recognize, but if like Ryan Garcia said, if he has to resort to that means he ain't that guy. He's not the pay-per-view star that you guys been thinking he is. The fucking fanboys. If he fights clean, okay, congratulations, that's good for him. The only way I think he wins is by knockout if he fights clean. Because if Ryan gets hurt, he got that whole Oscar de la Hoya, Tito Trinidad type of animal. When he's wounded, he's gonna get up and he's gonna press you. So this is a guy, Tank, that throws 300 punches. He better knock him out with one punch, because if Ryan gets up and you go for the kill, the kid's got too fast of a reflexes. You're going to trade with, and you're going to catch the left hook, especially when you're trading shots from opposite stances. He's throwing the left from afar. Ryan Garcia's throwing it from the front. And he's longer, so he's going to clip you, because Tank's got to turn the punch over from his trail hand. And the kid's got the fast reflexes, dude. Make no mistake, Tank's going to get hit too. If he goes for the kill, that's why when somebody picked Tank 11th round stoppage, I go, that's not too bad of a prediction, because if he does go for the kill, he might get it, but then he also might get killed himself.
Yeah, I think the key for Ryan, I agree with what you said, with everything you said. I think the key for Ryan is that try not to let Tank get on the inside. You know how he'll kind of like lean forward with his head, with his guards up, and get inside, and then On top of that, Ryan Garcia kind of stands straight with his chin up. You know, he got his chin like kind of tucked in, but it's exposed, so he could get hit with a big shot that way. If he could avoid that, which I think he should be able to avoid that. I think it becomes harder for Tank Davis. Then Tank has to be reaching. You know, if you get the little man to reach, he exposes himself. Okay, because that's just the way when you're throwing punches, you know, and you're reaching for a taller guy, you kind of leave your chin exposed, and he would have to be careful not to get hit with that big left hand, that lead left hand on top of that, you know. But again, you know, to me, it all comes down to what kind of shape physically is Ryan Garcia going to be in. You know, if he's feeling strong the way I seen him in his last fight, I think it becomes very difficult for Tank, and that's why I'm kind of stuck. I want to go with Garcia, but I don't know what his condition is going to be. I mean, anybody could say what they want to say, but it's how you feel in the ring. That's what really counts. If he's a little bit weary because of the weight, you know that favors Tank, who's a big puncher. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he could get tired too, but at the same time, you know, you're a little bit more tired than he is, and Tank could hurt you with big shots later on in the fight, even though he's a bit tired himself.
You know, sometimes, not that I do it, but I've heard many stories. When I was in the penitentiary in Tijuana, in La Mesa, one guy used to say that sometimes the little rooster, which you call a stag, like barely under 3 years old, 2 years, 18 months, they'll put him against the big rooster because he's so quick. He's so quick that he's deadly. He just might land a fucking quick left hook and slice his neck and he's done.
Yeah.
With power. Even though the other kicks harder, this guy got speed and he kicks hard too.
I gotta tell you something. Nimble. I gotta tell you something. Looking at the predictions here, I'm surprised at it really does look like a 50-50 fight from the public standpoint, because I see one for Garcia, then one for Davis, then one for Garcia, then draw, then one for Garcia, then one for Davis. I mean, it just goes back and forth, and we've got about, I want to say 40-something predictions, and we're going to be taking more on Friday after the weigh-in. So, but that's the thing, though. That's what worries me about a little bit is Tank Davis. When we started off the show, did he miss the open workout because it's psychological warfare? Did he just not feel all that well? Like, what's going on? And that's the thing, though. It's I don't know. You know, he's a stocky guy too who doesn't live the cleanest lifestyle. That's liable to catch up to him. And then the fact that they demanded a catch weight and a rehydration clause, because that's what I'm saying. The narrative went from Garcia's easy work. He don't got that dog, as they like to say. Then he turned it to, whoa, he looks kind of big. Then he went to no tune-up until we get the fight done. And then finally culminated in catch weight and a rehydration clause. So I don't know, man. It's bizarre. It went, like I said, it went from his easy work to that. Yeah.
There's clearly some concern on the Tank side because they would have not done that. And after watching the Fortuna fight, again, I didn't watch it when it happened. I was too busy. So I wasn't even, I tuned boxing out for a little while. I watched it and I saw Garcia as a big, strong dude. He almost looked like a fucking legit welterweight in that ring. And they're saying to themselves, if I could see it, right? And I'm not in the business of training people or handling a boxer. If I could see like, whoa, that guy is strong and big. Okay. Maybe not as skilled as Tank. Okay. Even though I don't think there's a big far gap between them in skill wise. There's things that I think Tank could do better, like combination punching. He's a little bit better footwork, stuff like that. And he has a lot of power. I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm.
But I said to myself, man, that's taking a risk when you're 5'6", 5'5", versus a kid who's legitimately 5'10", could put on some nice weight. You know, for him, he won't feel bloated if he put on 15 pounds. You know, he's not gonna feel bloated or sluggish come fight night. He's going to feel strong. And that's why they said, man, we got to put a catch weight on this kid. We got to put a catch weight and a rehydration clause. That's what Mayweather did to Canelo. He did the same thing to Canelo. He said, look, I'm gonna. I know I fought at 154, and I know it's for your belts at 154. But I'm gonna do a catch weight, and I'm gonna make sure that you don't rehydrate to your comfortable weight. And I'm not saying whether it's unfair or not. It doesn't matter, because someone could say, well, a guy coming in 20 pounds heavier than his fight weight, it's a disadvantage. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but to say that there was no concern at all, then you would fight him at 140 pounds and you would say, come in whatever fucking way you want to come in. As long as you're not like 170 come fight night,
That's
if
a
you're
good
like
point,
close
yeah.
to 160, that's fine with me.
That would have made a statement. Because the quote that I'm reading here, it says, I'm this from Tank Davis, by the way, regarding the rehydration clause and the catch weight. He says, it's just making sure everything's fair. You know what I mean? Meaning Ryan Garcia has an advantage. Then he goes, I know that Garcia is the bigger fighter. He already has the advantage of the height, size, and arm length. Like everything, he has the most advantage. So I'm just making it a little fair. But it's interesting because he didn't do that with Mario Barrios. So this is a indirect way of admitting that Ryan Garcia's got better skills than Barrios, or at least something about him makes him the better fighter. And if it's just the size, then again, he didn't do it to Barrios, so it's not just the size.
Right. Yeah. Barrios was at 140, right? BDA, he was at 140 pounds.
Yeah.
So, and he's a guy who stands at 5, the same height as Ryan, and so he let him. He let that guy. At least that I know of, there was no rehydration clause. So you see, if you can't be honest about that, then let's not even have this conversation. Then it's like, fuck it, all right. You just
it's gonna be a big what if, depending on, because people are saying, well, Ryan Garcia is not complaining. Well, he's not going to come in here and tell you that he admit that he's having a hard time making weight. I mean, come on. This, like I said in the beginning of the show, none of these guys, all these guys, whenever they fight, it's been the best training camp. I feel great. I feel fantastic. I feel I can go 15 rounds, blah, blah, blah. And then after the fight, that's when the excuses come out. So that's essentially what we're going to be, possibly what we could be seeing on Sunday.
If he's going to try to catch him weak because he's going to try to collapse the pocket and land the left hook, yeah, maybe, but he's still got to walk into Ryan Garcia's power, or Ryan Garcia got to chase him. But this is what still remains and stands true with Ryan Garcia. Even though he might be a little dehydrated, the speed is going to be there. The speed. And the power is going to remain because he's a natural puncher. That's not going to dissipate. Whether he's tired or not, he's just got to swing a quick left hook. And when he throws that, it's still going to carry power because the speed's going to be behind it.
I don't know what you mean by collapse.
The hand is heavy.
What do you mean by collapse the pocket? I wanted to ask you that yesterday. I didn't get a chance to.
Collapse the pocket. So, Ryan Garcia. Tank Davis, he's got to come into Ryan Garcia's wheelhouse.
Right.
If he steps in, still, Ryan Garcia, he throws with speed, the power's not going to go away. It's going to remain. Yeah, if Tank Davis collapses the pocket thinking he's going to get a slightly weak, dehydrated Ryan Garcia, he still has to go in there and try to get it. In other words, get the distance to land his shot. He's not going to do it from far away. So he's got to collapse the space, get in there, or if he doesn't do that, he's got to be the counter puncher and allow Ryan Garcia to come step in himself for him to collapse the pocket and catch him on the counter, stepping in as well. So one other thing, you're going to chase, or you got to wait for this guy to step in, or you got to trade at the same time. And if you trade at the same time, Ryan lands first, in my opinion. If Tank Davis collapses the pocket coming in, he's got to walk in through the longer guy. So he's probably going to get hit too as well. If he sits back in the cut and allows Ryan to come to him, you got a guy throwing punches, so you're probably instinctually you're gonna block first, and if not, you're gonna trade too. So I see a lot of trading in these exchanges, where both fighters are gonna get caught, but there's a lot of power in the ring. And even though even though Ryan Garcia might be a little dehydrated, the power's not going to dissipate. It's going to remain because he's a natural puncher with the lead hand. That shit don't go away. For a lot of fighters, it does. For him, it doesn't. He got great recoil. I mean, Tank Davis is he's a firecracker too. He's explosive, right? But hey, man, who's this guy? Leo Santa Cruz, man. He was a good fighter, but I think Ryan Garcia is stronger. He's stronger and he's quicker and he hits way harder than Leo Santa Cruz. I know it's triangle theory, but
yeah, I mean, well, it's a little bit. Let me just remind people, because we did a show on Monday, I believe, where we were grading both fighters based on their attributes. So you can't see it on the screen; it's cut off. But speed, we gave Garcia the advantage. Power, we gave him the advantage. Now, again, some people can say, "What? Listen, it's if there's an advantage anywhere here, it's mostly slight advantages." Because you can't really say that Garcia is the overwhelming, more powerful puncher than Davis. So we just had to make a judgment call, and we went with Garcia, saying that he has a slightly better hand speed and power. Also, by the way, when you're younger, you're always going to be as quick. Like usually when guys are at 31, that's when they're at their physical peak. But sometimes guys are at their quickest when they're in their early 20s or mid 20s. So we just went with the
of course, BDA.
Yeah, so we just went with
BDA. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's crazy that Joe called in and said, no disrespect to him, but he called in and he had to pick a retired or semi-retired fighter in his mid-30s, like Gary Russell Jr., to go up against a fresh fighter like Ryan Garcia and say that old man is quicker than the fresh Ryan. A retired motherfucker. So therefore, he couldn't think of anybody in the game fighting right now. So that means there isn't, in my opinion.
Well, who are the fastest guys, like young guys? Because obviously, I mean, Loma is still fast, but he's not as fast as he was back in 2014. I would have to say Inoue is still one of the fastest guys out there. Stephen Fulton's pretty quick. No.
When I think fast, I think who can throw a 3-punch combination in the blink of an eye. And Inoue doesn't remind me of that. But when he does his jab right hand or just one shot at a time with a power shot, it's incredibly quick. Which is also fast. I get that. But when I think speed, I think multi-punch. I think Roy Jones. Maybe not that fast, but that's what I relate to speed. How fast can you throw multiple punches?
I get what you're saying, but to me, it's not dependent upon having to throw combinations. It's just about how fast. Like if your 1-2 is overwhelmingly faster than most guys, and you see that in the reaction of certain fighters. Like when they step in there with Inoue, and they go, "Holy shit, I can't see anything coming." And then the fact that their power punches, that makes it doubly hard. Like for example, there was a time when Mayweather moved up to 147. He was no longer throwing combos like he was at 130 or even 140. Like if you watch a Chop Chop Corley fight, he was. Yeah, when he was fighting Chop Chop, he still looked a little bit like the lightweight version. By 2006, when he's fighting Zab Judah, or maybe it was because Zab Judah was way faster than he was. Well, not way faster, but he actually made Mayweather look slow a little bit in there. But Mayweather was still what I would have called fast. He just wasn't stringing those combos together as much. But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. If you want to go with Inoue just being quick. But we were just talking about overall who are the fastest guys out there right now. Now we have to go Inoue. Stephen Fulton, actually, I would have said quick, but I'll give him fast. Shakur Stevenson.
But those are pity pets. They're not game changers.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
and also, you think, okay, you tell two guys, punch me with the hardest. Okay, you're probably going to pick your powerful hand because that's the one you generate more force and you're going to throw it harder, which can also translate to quickness. And Ryan Garcia is that lead hand, so it's also deceptively quick because it only has to travel like 9 to 12 inches to the target. You tell two guys punch at this object, and it's got like a little sensor. The dude that is like a right-hander is going to use the trail hand, or a left-hander is going to use the trail hand. Ryan Garcia is going to use the lead hand. So essentially, the guy punching with the trail hand has got to punch 3 feet into the target. Ryan Garcia's got to punch 9 to 12 inches. So essentially, he's already got a head start. He's already got a head start, and all he's got to do is cross the finish line quicker from a position of advantage. That's why he's so quick. And not only that, he bends at the knees and he turns the hips. So that's where he generates the recoil. I saw it, man, the snap on the Cobra back. I saw that shit. His power is fucking real.
Yeah, I mean, even Recognize was telling me that. Yeah, listen, anybody that's like these guys are genuine power punchers, and even if Tank Davis has been fighting 130 pounders lately, he's still dropping them. I mean, you look at how he dropped that Hector Luis Garcia. That was an official knockdown, right?
Yeah.
I think he touched the canvas. I forget, but I mean, he buckled his knees real badly. And Stephen Colbert, not Stephen Colbert. What's his name? Colbert.
Stephen Fulton.
Fulton. No,
Yes.
not Fulton.
No, I'm sorry.
Colbert.
Chris Colbert.
Chris, yes, thank you. I don't know why I had Stephen Colbert in my mind. But yeah, he has some velocity on his shots, and he couldn't put a dent on Hector Luis Garcia. So there is something to be said about both guys' power, that's for sure, man. And, recognized, he told me on a DM, he watched the Garcia Fortuna fight. Look, Fortuna had been beaten in his last fight by Jojo Diaz. Fucking Ryan Garcia just blitzed him. I mean, he dropped him a bunch of times until he couldn't get up anymore. So that's real power right there too, man. These guys are bona fide power punchers. Now, do they have the skills to comprehensively beat the other guy? Remains to be seen. The other thing,
do they have the one to risk to get hit and hurt by the other guy? Because they're going to get hit. They're both power punchers. Who's going to be the one that's going to say, "I'm going to try and take your shot in order to deliver mine," and have the confidence to be able to take that shot?
Yeah, right. I guess they're both a little sloppy with the feet. That's one thing that stuck out with the film analysis that BDA did, and we were there. When Tank Davis punches, he's not in position to react the way a fighter should, like in lockstep. Ryan Garcia, I thought about it a little bit. When he punches, it's like a shopping cart with a racing engine. Too much horsepower. The tail end is going to spin out. He throws with too much force that his legs cannot keep in tandem with the upper body is doing. Yeah, like I said, Tank Davis he's not in position to throw as he's moving away sometimes, away and around and back and forth. He's always like the Matrix, but not in lockstep to punch back.
Yeah. It's because he squares himself up like we pointed out. Like when he's in punching position, his feet are where they're supposed to be. But when he gets defensive or when he's trying to cut the ring off, he squares himself up too much until he gets somebody lined up.
Hey, before we go, because you guys know I got to go get some chow. The undercard for this fight, it's not the best. Whenever you have these two big names like this. By the way, anyone that's wondering, because Campos called in and he said he was talking about where you can find the fight and so on. You can buy it on the Zone too. So that's the other thing, though. Here we don't have Showtime per se, so it's always a pain in the ass to try to find a Showtime a way to watch the fight or to buy it rather. This time it is available on the Zone as well. So that's where I'm going to be buying it. It's $80-something because it's a big fight. It's two big names. They're getting a lot of money. That's why, too, the undercard, the main event is taking away too many resources. So the undercard, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's like, I'm going to watch the fights. You've got Bektemir, the bully Melkuziev, rematching Gabriel Rosado, the only man who's ever beaten him. That was by a brutal knockout. And I'm sure Melkuziev is going to look to really terrorize, and brutalize.
I think there's a replacement on that one, BDA. I think he fell out. There's a replacement.
Wait. They were both at the open workout. When did that happen?
I'm not sure. Did he really? Because I heard that. What's the Mexican dude that? There's that fucking the cheesy, cringy ass voice. He's all right though. The commentator.
Gonzalo, I think you're talking about. I think the fight you're referring to is Morel. His opponent, David Morel's opponent, fell out. And he's been replaced.
No, I think Melkuziev too, because he was training for a southpaw, and I'm not sure. I might be mistaken, but I don't think I am. I could be. I know what you're talking about, the Morel fight, that one too. But right. I just so happened to turn on the TV and they were interviewing Gabriel Rosado, and Melkuziev wasn't there. I think there's also a replacement for that one. But can I double check with somebody? Can somebody put it on the chat?
People are saying people in the chat are saying that the fight's still on between the bully and Rosado. I think
my bad.
One person said it. Hold on. One person said it. I need more people to confirm. I'm looking at it here. Oh, by the way, yeah, apparently, like Arm in the chat is saying if you're a DAZN subscriber, I think there's a rebate on the pay-per-view. So you should be able to. I think you're gonna get it. Be able to get it for $60. So I should be able to get it. Yeah, because I'm a subscriber. The one that fell out was Morel's opponent. He's taking on Falcao, who's a Brazilian Olympian, and this guy, it's like I'm not impressed by him at all. But he's got some good upper body movement, and I think that might be enough to maybe frustrate Morel. And the reason why I bring that up, guys, is because Morel recently came out and he said that he's gunning for a Benavidez fight. I've seen guys like Morel before, man, or we've seen guys like Morel before, guys that got under 10 fights, never really fought anybody, and they start jawing about how confident they are, how they can take on the best. Reminds me a little bit of like Julian Williams when he took on Jermall Charlo, or Luis Arias when he fought Daniel Jacobs. So this is what Morel is saying. He's saying that I'm 100% focused on my fight right now, blah, blah, blah. I'm focused on 100% on David Benavidez. He says, if I'm the winner, he says, I'm focused 100% on Benavidez. I want to fight him. I think he'll want to fight me. Let's get it. No more excuses. Guys, Morel is a southpaw Cuban, but he's this new school of Cuban fighters that's very aggressive, a little bit like Robeisy Ramirez. And clearly he's very confident. He's an 18-1 favorite over Falcao, who, like I said, he's a fellow southpaw, but he's been beaten before. I'm not all that impressed with his firepower, but like I said, he might make. In other words, what I'm trying to get at is, do you guys agree that Morel has to look good in this one? Because if he doesn't, he can kiss bye-bye those dreams of fighting Benavidez this year.
Falcao's moving up, huh? Did he go up? Because I know Morel fights at 168.
Yeah, I think he's moving up. Yeah, I think he's moved up.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I would stay focused on that fight because, I think Morel is really good southpaw, but you never know. Falcao's an Olympian. Didn't he do good? Didn't he
Well, he
went
medaled.
Gold or he won?
He medaled. He medaled the bronze. So he made it to the.
He medaled, which means you're good. You had a good amateur career. So I don't know. I would say if he beats Falcao and he beats him really good, and maybe not even knocks him out, Benavidez is still a dangerous fight for him. That's a dangerous fight.
You know what, Gonzalo? I don't know if Morel can fight going backwards, and that's what Benavidez does to everybody. It's like you look at guys like Robeisy Ramirez and you go, wow, he can probably box off the back foot because he's an Olympian, a gold medalist. But that doesn't always mean that they can fight off the back foot. What do you think, Gonzalo? Is Morel making a big mistake by asking for Benavidez right off the bat?
About the backwards thing, well, he's Cuban, but he's the new school, like you mentioned. He's a southpaw, so if he's not reaching with the left hook, in other words, if he throws a good left, because he's got big ass forearms, PDA. I think he's fighting at what's the division? Middleweight, super middleweight.
Super middleweight.
He looks big as fuck, but he's making the weight. He's got some powerful forearms. I think he throws great hooks, so he can catch a dude as the other fighters coming to him instead of reaching with the hook, and he's got power for sure, definitely. But he has to win, like you said, and for some reason. I don't think he's an unlikable guy, but many people don't like him, right? He's got a chip on the shoulder or something about him that rubs people the wrong way. They want to see him lose. Is that a sign that he is that good?
Well, he talks a lot.
Want to see him get fucked up?
Yeah, he talks a lot, and I think, and he rabbits, he hits people with rabbit shots, like Cazares. I forget the guy's name, the Mexican fighter. He got stopped. I think he threw around something. He hates Morel because he got hit in the back of the head and they stopped the fight. So. Yeah, man. And like I said, nobody really likes a fighter that talks all that much, being this unproven. So I don't know if he can take a shot. By the way, in the chat, Butch Cassidy is saying that Falcao, there's two Falcaos. The other Falcao is the one that beat Patrice Volny from my neck of the woods here in Montreal. So I knew I was confusing both as one of them. So now I'm confused. So this guy, I think he's always been a super middleweight, recognized. But yeah, but Gonzalo, in terms of Morel, you were gonna say something.
I watched that. Yeah, go ahead, BD.
No. So I was gonna let you go. Yeah, to continue.
Yeah, I saw like a long time ago when this fighter first came on the scene. I was the one that mentioned. I don't know if it was. I just know that I talked about him when many people hadn't even knew who he was, known who he was. And because he got an opportunity with 3 fights in to fight for an interim title, I believe, because he was coming off the Olympics. I don't know if he defected. What's the deal with Cuba and that situation politically? But I remember that in Florida, I think he fights out of Hialeah. And that fight, the one I'm mentioning right now, was about 2 years ago. He had like this aura with the Cuban people. You know, when you say PDA, when Luis Ortiz is playing the tambores, what do you call it? And the maracas or like whatever.
Okay.
I saw something infectious with the crowd that they were chanting his name. They were all dancing in good spirits. It's like the whispering in the winds when the Bible says, you know, it's like there's this weird feeling. And they were all like frenetic. The Cubans were dancing and shit. It's like, man, I got chills. Like, hey, they're putting all this stock on this dude because for some reason they feel it. Like the peoples, that he's their man. That he's their fighter, like the future. So I kind of have the same thing with Boxy Constano, the Argentine. Hey, Boxy, you could feel it. It was palpable. But then again, who knows? That's just my intuition.
Maybe it was that, Gonzalo, or maybe it was Santeria. They got that. Well, no, you said they're dancing and everything. That puts people, that's Santeria, that's hoodoo, that's voodoo too. Like they get in a frenzy by dancing and playing the drums, and that's when they get into an altered state of consciousness whereby they can perform all these types of like firewalking, you know, putting swords in their throats, shit like that. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe Morel's got the crowd like that. Maybe that's how he's going to, hey, that would be a good way to get people to pay to watch you fight. You get them under some sort of MK Ultra conditioning. You never know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Maybe somebody had the voodoo doll for the Kazakhstani dude. And that's why he got fucked up. They busted out the voodoo doll and started sticking it with pins and needles. Then the dude ended up in the hospital with the coma.
But this Morel fella, I'm telling you, man, I'm always weary of saying, yeah, this guy, because I've seen some people say, oh, I'd be willing to watch Benavidez Morel, and I'm thinking, really, at this point, when Morel's been unproven, I don't even know if he can take a shot. I haven't seen all his fights. I'm gonna rewatch. The one I've never seen was the Lennox Allen fight. That was back when Allen was undefeated, and apparently he's the only guy that ever went the full distance with Morel. So I want to see what happened in that one. Did he catch anybody in the chat or on the panel, whatever? Has Morel ever eaten a big shot? And if so, which fight? Because I gotta get my homework done here and watch some of his fights. I recently rewatched the Atlantis Fox fight. That was yes.
Yeah, BDA. Remember when you told me about that fighter from Canada that just fought Carlos Gongora? That was a beast, and I think, look, that guy's good. I'm not Morel for damn sure. He's also good. Make no mistake, he is good. But remember that dude that fight Carlos Gongora. I can't recall his name, but he's real good. But then Carlos Gongora hurt him for the first time. But if you asked me before, based on the highlights that I watched, man, I was thinking that dude's gonna knock out Gongora. Even Gongora's also good. He's gonna knock him out because he's been getting a lot of knockouts. So I think it's kind of like similar with this guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, you hold on. You're saying
people might not know what I'm talking about, but yeah, you know who the guy that fought Carlos Gongora from Canada.
And Billy, yeah, and Billy. He couldn't stop Gongora though. Well, I mean, he almost did in the last round. You have to wonder what would have happened in the 12th. He looked like a beast in that one, in the late rounds.
He was getting fucked up too, huh?
Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, early on, I'm pretty sure Bill is going to be able to put it on him, but can he maintain that pace? Everyone was thinking that if Gongora was going to win, he was going to win in late. And instead, yeah, it looked like Mbili tired down in the middle rounds, but then he got his second win and almost pulled off the stoppage against Gongora in the last round. So it was the opposite of what people expected late. So you're saying that you're comparing Morel to Mbili a little bit.
Well, he won and Billy won, but he got fucked up too. He almost got knocked out like 2 times.
Yeah.
Just Carlos Gongora was too long and was only throwing like sniping shots here and there, trying to time the pressure fighter. But yeah, and Billy won, but he almost got KO'd too in the process. Yeah, that's just a random thought that popped into my mind. I was just kind of thinking because they got like similar build and they're both punchers.
Gongora would be the perfect test for Morel right now. Because he's a guy that's proven that he can go to war with his young'uns. It doesn't matter if they hit hard, he can take the punch and he can give it back. But jumping from Falcao to Benavides for Morel. I gotta tell you, I don't see that ending well. You know which? At least I'd even settle for Anthony Dirrell versus Morel, because I know Dirrell can crack a little bit, even though he's old now, but at least he can crack. He seemed to be able to keep up a little bit with Caleb Plant's speed. So, I mean, why not put him in there against Morel if they can't find anybody else? That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, jumping up in, they're fighting Benavides. People say Benavides hasn't fought anyone. Well, he just fought Caleb Plant. Morel hasn't even fought anybody, even like a Porky Medina type fighter. So, yeah, man, let's hold off.
Yeah, I think Benavides would beat Morel pretty bad if they fought now. I think maybe he needs a couple of more fights. He needs a couple of more to be competitive.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's definitely needs to. Again, I've seen it. We've seen it too many times, man. This guy looks good. He's got speed. He's got pizzazz. He's got the flash. And then he steps up against a guy that can hit or that can take his shots and keep coming. And whoops, all of a sudden he looks like crap or he gets beat. So I'm not falling for that one again. The other big news here before we go. I don't know if you guys heard this. There's some rich Arab, Saudi Arabian. These guys got money up the wazoo. They're thinking, and they're seriously considering this. Listen to this. They're considering making Joshua Wilder and Fury Usyk on the same night for December. They're going to put
Let's
up
make
almost,
it happen. Let's make it happen. I like that.
400 mil is what probably would come around here for this, to put up together these fights. What do you guys think? Possible? And if so, how stoked would you be for this event?
It's possible. It is possible. The money can be, they can get that money, those guys over there, right? Saudi Arabia. Now, whether or not it will happen, I don't know. That's the thing. I think Wilder's more than down to fight AJ. I think AJ will fight him as long as the money's right. I know Usyk wants to get this fight done for legacy and obviously money, but he wants to get this done for legacy. The person I question is Tyson Fury. That's the guy I question right there. I don't know if he's down with it. He's got to have everything his way. He'd be like, 400 million, you guys give me 300. And let the other three split, let the split he'll come up with some asinine demand that's basically saying, I don't want to fight Usyk. Or I could see him saying, well, let me fight Wilder again. Like, no, motherfucker. You versus Usyk and Wilder versus AJ. The two guys that lost fight each other. And the two winners, the last guy standing, at least for all the belts, you guys fight each other. But he'll come up with some lame excuse why this fight's not going to happen, and it's Usyk's fault too.
So that's how little faith you have in Tyson Fury now, that you think he's going to pull off something like that. I have
no faith in him. I mean, the biggest fight you can possibly make in boxing, it's not done yet. It's not signed yet. It's obviously because of Tyson Fury.
Interesting. By the way, that was one of the reasons why Fury said that one of the stipulations he changed. First, he said, okay, the Saudi Arabia fight's happening against Usyk. Then it's like, no, I want to do it in England. And then it was a whole bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, man, if it happens in Saudi Arabia, he's already said he doesn't want it there. But, hey, for the amount of money that these guys are putting down, man, maybe he would be. I don't know. By the way, we got a phone call here coming in. I think it's the last phone call of the night before we leave. 773, you're on the air. 773, what's on your mind?
Yeah, boys, been going 3 hours.
What's up, Kevin?
Man, I've been listening to this show. It's been popping off.
That's right.
Popping off with this show lately, guys. Man, he's been really spitting fire. I gotta say, this fight's big time. Feels like a big fight, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's why we're here, man.
That Kevin from Chicago.
Even though it's not like recognize what's going on. Why you been ducking me?
What's up, my brother? I've been a little busy, man. I'm not ducking you.
Oh man. So what's there to say?
Any day's a good day when Kevin survives the streets of Chicago.
Hey Kevin,
That's right.
Kevin.
That's right.
There's a guy that called in earlier from, no, where was he from? Texas. He sounded exactly like you. I said, wait a minute. Were you calling in with some sort of device, and that's your way of trolling a little bit? Like, oh, you keep me guessing whether it was you calling in or like what? Did you hear that phone call?
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh fuck. All right. Well, we'll try to get you guys on the same. We
No,
got a
there's
guy.
only one.
We got two guys that sound like they're from NPR too. They got NPR voices, and they actually confused me the last time because I thought one guy was the same one. It turns out they're two different people. So I'm all over the place today. But yes, go ahead.
There's only one K-Dog, the one and only. You got him right here, right now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I have a hard time rooting for either guy. I got no dog in the fight. I'm just hoping to see a good scrap. See guys come out and scrap. Both knockout power, which is always good. I just hope Davis don't try to wait till the very last minute and get a home run knockout. Hope he actually comes in there from the start to finish out there trying to put a hurt on him. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I want to see. Because, in the past, he likes to take rounds off, kind of, I don't know, just get a home run knockout, Hail Mary knockout in the later half of the fight. I just hope that's not the case. I want to see him scrap right off the jump. I'm
There we go, man.
bloodlust.
Hey, me too. I want to see somebody
than
get
that-
knocked out, man.
Yeah, man. That's it. I mean,
All right.
you got every take. There's been every take in the world on this fight.
Exactly, yeah.
You got every
Exactly.
opinion, every scenario. So that's all I'm hoping for. Just a good scrap from start to finish.
I'm going to write
And then
that
we
down,
can
by the
at
way.
least see what happens there. We'll go from there.
There you go. One day at a time, man. I'm going to write it down, though. I'm going to write Kevin from Chicago says he just wants a good fight. All right. Well, listen, K-Dog, thank you for your call, man, and take care out there. Hey, Chicago, I saw what happened this weekend, man. You got to watch out over there, man. Downtown Saturday nights, even downtown, you're not safe.
Dude,
man.
they brought that shit. They brought that shit 2 blocks from my house.
Whoa.
They never bring that shit this far. They never bring that far. The cops, they had a police presence that were keeping them in check, but still, they're out doing donuts in the middle of the street.
Jeez Louise.
Do a little fire. They did a fire with the circle and shit. It's just ridiculous how they're getting nuts out here, man. What the fuck is going on with these animals?
Were you packing?
And then the mayor comes out and says, "Oh, don't demonize them. It's a lack of apprehension." What? It's fucking crazy. We elected another dog shit mayor. Got rid of the nut job Lightfoot. We put another clone in there. It's just, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
They got rid of her. They got rid of the little
fish-eyed,
whatever that thing is.
Yeah, the fish-eyed woman there. Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, they got rid of Beetlejuice.
Come on, wait a minute.
He does look like Beetlejuice.
Oh man. Well, listen, enjoy yourself out
Come
there.
on,
in
everyone
South-
knows about Beetlejuice.
People are calling it Chirac, South Africa, Chicago. People are saying, I mean,
Did
come
you
on, man.
see the video?
Yeah, I
Did you
saw
see
the
video
videos.
where the white lady getting attacked.
Oh, yeah. I saw the one
That's
where
fucking crazy.
the newscaster goes, 2 teens were shot standing around. It's like, come on, were they really just standing around, man? Over there? I mean, I saw the video. I saw the video where there's a fight. There's these guys, a bunch of guys fighting. You can't really differentiate one from the other because it's just a ball of people punching each other. And then all of a sudden you hear gunshots, pow, 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 and everybody just spreads. And I'm thinking, yeah, that was the moment where somebody got shot. It wasn't just standing around. But anyway, listen, K-Dog, like Arm is saying, we're veering off into Second Renaissance territory here. We gotta go. But shout out to you, K-Dog, and catch you in the next one, all right, man?
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, stay safe out there. Take it easy. Yeah, gotta watch out, man. Well, listen, fellas, we're probably gonna be back on Friday for the Open Lines show. I might or might not show up, depends. Pretty sure I'm gonna see you guys there. Gonzalo's probably gonna be keeping people in check as well. I know he's always there to keep people in line. I'll just say this, man. If we can talk a little bit more, like 5 more minutes about this. Ryan Garcia has to go in there, like I said, and not try to get him with a knockout shot early on. but still throw hard to get Tank Davis's respect. But Tank Davis is probably gonna, if he fights the way he's been fighting in the last 3-4 fights, he's probably gonna play it safe early and just play defense and frustrate Garcia. So Garcia can get frustrated, throw a lot of jabs, a lot of those little poking right hands, just pile up the points, and then make the Davis be the one that he's going to have to come forward. You know, a couple of body shots too won't hurt. Jimmy seems to really think that Davis is not really in shape and that he cannot take body shots. So risk it a little bit against a shorter guy, get some body shots in there. Now for Davis, I think he's got to fight uncharacteristically, and he has to, maybe he lines Garcia in with a big shot like everyone's saying, maybe. But if he really wants to give himself the best chance possible to win, he has to fight uncharacteristically and put it on Garcia from the get-go. And I think he might just do that too, by the way, because he knows that this rehydration clause might affect Garcia. He's probably going to be thinking that, so he's going to say, you know what, let me try to get him to the body early and wear him down. He's going to have to do that while be playing it safe a little bit, because if he runs into something big, could be trouble. So he's going to have to put pressure, but at the same time move the head a lot of feints, make Garcia pop that chin up, work his body so that he gets he becomes defenseless with the arms down, chin up in the air, and that's how you finish him. So those are my keys to victory right there.
That's a good one. That's a good PDA. I agree with that, man.
Can I throw my last 2 cents regarding the fight as well?
Absolutely.
That was a great breakdown, PDA.
Absolutely, yes. That's what I'm getting to. Yeah.
Yeah. Si me lo permites, recognize. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't know how you say it in English, but anyways.
So good.
I think that we mentioned something that hasn't been spoken about a lot. One of the categories that we discussed was cuts, and we all agreed. And people, you guys mentioned this, that Tank's the one that marks up easier. Although Ryan, he's lighter complected. They call him a twink or whatever, and this guy, he got the dog. He's the one that marks up quicker, because he tends to catch a lot of shots, and sometimes I believe that they're in the gloves, because he's a true counter puncher that waits until he gets the perfect opportunity. So a lot of the times when he's shelling up, he's trying to pick his punch amid the infighting or whatnot. When he's getting hit, he's trying to set that trap to land his concussive punch. But when he faced a fighter like Pitbull Cruz, who some people don't regard as a puncher, mind you, I think he cracks because however you say it, speed equals power. In other words, Pitbull Cruz can crack, and the thing that kept Tank a little trepidatious is the speed that Pitbull Cruz was throwing kept him a little bit too wary and couldn't clearly place his counters, because that's a lot of speed coming down his way that he's kind of getting bamboozled. So therefore, he cannot find the counter that he usually gets unless he's fighting the guy that's throwing 3 right hands like Leo Santa Cruz at the same time, where he can perfectly place that punch with ample time. But with a quick fighter, dude, I said it, he shells up, he catches punches on the gloves, he marks up, but at the same time, he's a shrewd fighter who's trying to see where he can place his shots. But with the power that Ryan carries, when he does bamboozle you, he's going to snap your head back, and he's going to keep you from really keeping your eye on the target to land your counters. And that's why I'm saying it's going to be very difficult. For one, he's a taller dude. The lead hand up front against the opposite on the trail hand facing Ryan, that he's got to cover up too much. And when the going gets tough, he might land this counter. But if Ryan gets hurt, he's like a wounded animal. He's going to also land too. And will Tank Davis continue being aggressive when Ryan responds with power as well?
It's an interesting point. Well, I mean, like I asked one of the callers, how confident are you in your prediction in terms of percentages? Gonzalo,
say again, BDA.
In terms of percentages, how confident are you in your prediction?
Well, I'm about 80%, and I know that's crazy because the safe thing would be to go for a decision.
Wow.
But even for Tank Davis, because he's a house fighter, but my original pick was a decision for Ryan Garcia. But I'm thinking Ryan believes in his power, and he believes in his power, and I had picked him already. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? He's not being ambivalent. It's either you're cold or hot. There's a lot of psychology nowadays involved. Well, this guy, he got the IQ. This guy don't got the dog. But when you got two power punchers, even if you got a dude that's got a fucking like a weak ass chin, if you want to call it that, a lot of the greatest fighters of all time, some of them had the speed and the power, and with those two things alone, they became world champions and they dominated, like Julian Jackson, like Terry Norris, whatnot, to concussive punchers, and they didn't have a fucking chin. Now, if you want to say Ryan doesn't either, but then he don't got the IQ, then what the fuck is landing these quick fucking punches? That it takes technique, and all the while with speed, he's getting the job done. That takes technique, man. And I know what a lot of people said, but the end game for him is the knockout. So I'm saying one last thing. Tank Davis throws 300 punches. And if in the beginning he's covering up to find the opening, but then he's getting his head snapped back, and he can't place the eye on the target, later, when he does open up, because he has no choice, because they're going to tell him in the corner, you're down on the cards, like when Mayweather approached him in the Latter's fight. He's going to have to step it up when he's down on the cards. So I was thinking Ryan, unanimous decision, but now Tank Davis got to go for broke, because he don't want to embarrass himself in front of his people. And when he goes for broke, he got to throw the trail, Ryan the lead, two power punchers on opposite sides of the table, exchanging the shot. So this guy got to go for broke, and Ryan's Tank's gonna try to drown him in deep waters, but this guy knows how to swim, because he wakes up in the morning and he runs 8 miles every day. So I don't think that dude's gonna wear out. And that's basically some of my points.
Well, first of all, you stole...
I'm probably just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let the people talk on Friday, because I usually don't chime in too much on Friday.
You stole that from Ryan Garcia, where he says, "I know how to swim." So don't think that I'm not on to you, Gonzalo.
No, I know I did steal that, but I correlated it to the fact that Ryan Garcia runs 8 miles a day.
I'll let it slide.
Right.
I'll let it slide.
Let
it slide.
He runs 8 miles a day. He strength and conditioning in the beach, and he trains with Joe Goosen in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So he trains a whole hell of a lot.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm surprised when, like I said, when Ray called in, I'm surprised when people are that confident, because I wish I had that type of confidence. I tend to overthink things. Recognize, what do you think about that? When Gonzalo says he's 80%, that's the thing that impressed me the most, 80% confident in his pick. How confident are you? And don't think that you're under pressure, that you gotta one-up Gonzalo and say, well, I'm 85% confident. Just, how confident are you in your pick, which is a draw, I believe?
I'm 80.1% confident.
There you go.
No, I mean, I'm not too confident. Well, put it this way: I am confident that this fight is going to turn out the way I think it's going to. Mm-hmm. But there's conditions behind it, and you just look, for you to sit there, and I respect Gonzalo's confidence, because sometimes I look at a fight and I'm 80% confident that the fighter that I'm picking is gonna win. Sometimes 90%, sometimes close to 100%. It's like that happens. But it's fine. It's okay to say, look, I'm almost 100% confident. What gets to me is when somebody starts planning. It's okay. Now you're not only making predictions of the fight, you're making predictions of the future. I already know what Tank's gonna do. Tank is gonna he's gonna move up to 140 and fight for some vacant belt that's gonna be occupied by a guy he already beat, and that way he can avoid Haney and Shakur. Wait a minute, you didn't even mention Loma. So that's a far gone conclusion to you.
Right.
Loma's losing. He's losing to Haney. There's no doubt. You're not even worried about it. That's not real competition then. That's not real boxing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I sit here and tell you 100% Usyk will be fighting Deontay Wilder for undisputed, let's say, in 2024. What am I telling you? I'm telling you that Fury is not an option for me to pick to win. He's zero option. Okay, AJ is zero option to beat Wilder. There's no option there. There is no scenario where he could beat him. Well, then we're talking about stage fights. Then That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about real competition then.
So wait a minute. Why are you trying to say? Are you trying to equate that to this fight, or are you trying to?
Well, the way these guys are talking, right? The way they're talking, it's like I already feel that they're giving the advantage to Tank to win the fight. They're giving him every advantage to win the fight. Going into the fight, it's a PBC card. Although, listen, he does have De La Hoya. You got to take that into consideration. You know, De La Hoya does have a lot of pull in boxing. And then you got the catch weight, and then you got the rehydration clause. So, in my opinion, when I look at that, and I think it's a fair opinion too, it's fair for me to say that they're trying to give every chance for Tank to have an edge to win the fight.
I mean, we'll see. I always try to wait after the fight, not before, after the fight to see if any shenanigans occur, because I can't say for sure that, I mean, I've seen it before. Pacquiao, remember, they gave Bradley the decision against Pacquiao in the first one. You're thinking, well, Pacquiao's the A side. What the hell happened there? So there are exceptions. So that's why I always try to reserve my judgment for afterwards.
Exactly. Look, what I'm basically saying is don't read the script that maybe some people are trying to push, which is that, listen, dude, don't even think about it. It's going to be Shakur and Haney in the future. Don't even think about it. And they're both going to be fighting for, they're both going to be undefeated. There's nothing to even think about. You know, it's like, first of all, whatever gave you that much confidence that these guys are that fucking good anyway? You know? We'll find out. We'll find out if Haney is way better than Loma. That he doesn't have a shot in hell. That Loma doesn't have a shot in hell against Haney. You know, we'll find out if Tank is just way better than Garcia. He gets, he just blows him away. Come Saturday night. But for you to say it with that much, confident, you're already speaking into the future, just. It sounds like you're buying the script, bro. That's all I do. You just buying the script. You sold already.
Yeah, that's the way some people. Yeah, that some people. I mean, some people don't listen. The other thing I gotta take with a grain of salt sometimes. A lot of the predictions is because I know for a fact some people don't even watch fights. They watch the highlights, and some people could listen. And I'm not being a pretentious boxing fan by saying you actually, if you don't watch the fights, you don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna be better educated than somebody that doesn't watch fights at all. But what I'm saying is a certain rhythm to fights. And most of the times when people make highlights, it's only highlights about the punching. The punches landed. You don't get to see how that guy set up the shot. What was he doing beforehand to set up the shot? You don't see the first 5 rounds to see how the guy was actually setting that shot up as well. Sometimes the guy misses a punch. So you're not getting the whole picture is what I'm trying to get at, the whole rhythm of the fight, the whole gestalt, if you will. So you got to watch these fights, fellas, because I've encountered people that you start interrogating about the fights, and all of a sudden, well, I didn't watch the whole fight. It's like, well, what the fuck are you being so cocksure about it for? By the way, that's a new thing I'm going with, cocksure. Just want to say cock in there somewhere, just just to be provocative. But
was that French PDA you spoke about a few seconds ago?
Was that who?
Was that French?
Gestalt, I think it is. Yeah. That's
crazy. So you speak how many languages you speak? Italian, French, Spanish, English.
No, that's Butch. No, recognize that's Butch. That's Butch. Remember when you said that he speaks French, Italian? I was like, nah, man, he doesn't speak it. Gestalt, it's where is the etymology of that? No, actually, it's German. Apparently, it was from psychology, I think. Yeah, Gestalt psychology. It's a configuration of school of psychology. Blah blah blah. I think it's Austrian or German. Yeah, one of those. But it sounds French. I'll say that. I can understand why you thought it was French. The French. But okay, but anyway. What else do I want to say about this Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis fight?
Can you say back to the chopper? Remember when Arnold used to say, how does it go recognize? I think that would sound cool for Mr. BD to say.
Oh, man. Listen, when you watch these films in French over here in Quebec, the translations, they try to get people that actually sound like the actors in English. But the worst are like Jackie Chan. It sounds like I remember my father told me once, like it sounds like they got a midget for Jackie Chan movies. The guy talks like this. In French, I was thinking, man, Antonio Banderas.
You ever watch a porn movie translated in French? That's the worst.
Yeah, it's bad, man. because the dubbing is bad. They don't silence. They don't have enough budget to actually silence and overdub the movie, so they just talk over. So you hear them speaking in English, and then you all of a sudden you hear a voice in French talking over them, and it's two voices at the same time, and it's disgusting. It's very hard to finish, if you know what I mean, when you got voices all over the place. You know what? It must be. That's what it must feel like for a schizophrenic to jerk off. It's like you're hearing voices all the time. They can't. Maybe that's why they're schizophrenic, because they can't finish properly. Too many voices.
Yeah, can you imagine walking with all that stuff inside of you? You'll be fucking schizophrenic too.
Absolutely. Shout out to Pat's Nation for his contribution with Super Chat. He says, round 5, minute 148, liver shot knockout by Ryan Garcia. Whoa! See, when I ask for...
it's getting real specific.
That's what I'm saying. When I ask for specific predictions, this guy delivered. Shout out to Pat's. Let me write it down here. Pat's Nation saying round 5. By the way, hold on. Round 5, minute 148. Jeez Louise. I said that I was going to get racial and really make it racial for this fight, but I kind of got tired and I didn't have the energy to go into it. So maybe the next fight, if they have a rematch, then I'll make it racial. For the moment, we stuck with boxing. There we go. Round 5, 148, Ryan Garcia. The other thing that I want to mention about this fight, though, is Tank Davis he doesn't seem like he's got, because usually when you see shorter guys, he's way below average for a lightweight. 5'5". I mean, I gotta assume that's below average. Usually those little short guys, they got big ass calves, like those Filipino calves. He doesn't even have that. So where is all that weight? Is it on the trunk? You know, like the what am I talking about here? The core. Is it in the
torso?
arms?
The torso, yeah. Torso, yeah. I see that too.
Torso.
The inner part of the back.
Yeah, he's probably got big thighs, no homo. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Because the calves.
It's like instead of being wide, BDA, he's thick. Like the girth wise, he's thick. When people do like parallel pull-ups, close hand, you develop the muscles down the center of your spine, then down the torso. I think that's where he gets the power, because he's quite rotund.
But I think he's also just built like that, more thick. He's thicker built by genetics, because the way he's also very explosive. But as you can see by his punch output, because I get it that he's reserving his energy and all that, but I think he's also reserving his energy because he can't go. He's those classic explosive guys that can't go throughout 3 minutes of every round. That's why I think if he were bigger, he would have been an excellent football player. You know, one of those guys that has to explode for 15 seconds and then he needs to get his oxygen back. But since he's not that tall, he worked his way into boxing with it. But that's the type of thing that he's got. He's an explosive guy, and I think that those short bones.
You're right. He's almost built like that like that running back, because you see all that backflip stuff that he be doing in fights and shit like that. That's all because his legs, his thighs. That's where he probably gets them from. He's super strong. I know, because I could do a backflip now. But now watch, hear me. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it, man. I believe you, man. That sounded exactly like a backflip, like the landing of a backflip. There's a science to identifying those type of sounds.
I actually did it, man. I actually did a backflip.
There you go, man.
I could do it
I
on
believe
top
you, man.
all the time. And I get that from my thighs, really. And so I know, because, calves, the Manny Pacquiao calves, those are rare to see. You know what I'm saying? There are dudes, you see dudes that they have that, where it almost looks like proportion-wise, their calves are bigger in terms of its placement than their thighs. Their thighs would be average, and then they make up for it with their calves. And there's other dudes that they got huge thighs, but I want to say no homo, goddammit, because we're talking about dudes here. But their calves look average. You know what I'm saying? Just average calves, but they're strong. Mm-hmm. They're strong as, maybe not as Pacquiao's, but they're still strong.
Well, I'll say this,
they're fucking huge, man. They're bigger than like my bicep.
Jeez, Louise.
For damn sure, they're fucking huge. I saw them like right next to the ring. Even for a Filipino, for other Filipinos genetically, because like my son, I married a Filipino. My son got the calves. I could see it already on a baby.
But this dude, all that bouncing he did in his whole career, and his entire career, they just kept growing and getting stronger. So he already genetically has them, but imagine bouncing like nonstop, like a bunny rabbit. That shit gets built up.
No, absolutely. All the jogging, all the whatever else he does in there, the moving with the boxing. By the way, shout out to Shazar for his prediction. He says robbery draw. A robbery draw. He says Tank Davis gets dropped twice. One gets counted as a slip. The other is a long count, and he's giving a break. Well, see, I asked for specific predictions. He's going for that. I'm curious to hear from Mueller's from the Discord, because he's the Oracle too. He's the one that won the BD Boxing Prediction League last year, and I'm curious to see who he's picking in this one.
BDA, did you write me down for 2 knockdowns too? In the 11th round prediction, I kept the same. I'm just gonna annoy you with that for the last time.
No, you're not
to make sure
me.
because
You're not annoying
me.
me.
11th round stoppage. 2 knockdowns for Ryan Garcia and 1 for Tank Davis. So essentially, they're gonna trade a knockdown apiece, but then Ryan Garcia is gonna stop him, so he gets the 2 knockdowns because the end game also counts for a knockout, for a knockdown. The knockout. So 2 knockdowns for Ryan Garcia and 1 for Tank Davis. 11th round stoppage for Ryan Garcia.
Okay, let me just see if I got it right here. Prediction. So we got Gonzalo saying Garcia 11 round TKO or an 8-4 type decision. 1 knockdown for Tank, 2 for Garcia. Is that what you want me to write?
Yeah, you can take away the 8-4 because they don't go decision no more.
Oh,
so the 8-4 you can remove that.
There you go,
8-4 type decision.
There you go.
You can take that away.
I already did, man. I took it down.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get specific. If you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna say that's from a movie. I'll let you guess what movie that comes from. But anyway, I'm gonna say Tank knocks Tank knocks Garcia down in the 6th round. Garcia knocks Tank down in the last round.
Jeez, Luis, hold on. Because I had to reopen the chat here. Something was off. Okay, so you're sticking with the draw.
I'm sticking with the draw.
And then, hold on. I gotta write this down. All right, so you're saying draw and then what?
A knockdown each. They're gonna get a knockdown each. I'm gonna say Tank drops Garcia in the 6th round, and Garcia drops Tank in the last round.
Whoa. Tank drops Garcia in the 6th, and then Garcia drops him in the last.
In the last round, the 12th round.
Wow. Okay, got you there. All right, that's those are the predictions right there. You guys can still, change them if you want. Modify them as we go. Yeah. Someone was gonna say something? Okay. By the way, I don't know if that's the real Pigeon in the chat. I haven't talked to him in a while. He says he wants a StreamYard link. He looks like he's probably drunk. So since I'm feeling magnanimous here, before we go, let's see if
he's still around.
Yeah, I told you he's still around. Let's see if that's really him, though. I'm not sure. Let me see if everything's working here. I need you guys to be able to listen to him as well, so I gotta change some things here. What the fuck? How do I shut down the camera here? There we go. All right, I'm gonna put the link there for Pigeon. I want to get his prediction. I'm very curious. People underestimate him because he's a drunk. They think he can't predict fights. He's a drunk that dresses up like a woman. People think that he can't predict, but you never know, man. Maybe he gets some of that in there and actually can get it done.
Oh, man, you just reminded me of those images. Jesus Christ.
Man. To each his own, man. To each his own. So maybe in his drunken haze, he doesn't overthink it the way I do. I overthink things too much. Maybe he gets right down to the bullshit by being drunk. And he cuts through the bullshit. Pigeon, I got the link there. That's just for the Pigeon Master. There was a time I think he insists now on being called Prince Pigeon. Prince Pigeon. So we're gonna have to acquiesce and talk to him about that. Hold on a second.
Prince or princess? You say
come
prince
on.
or princess?
Come on. Pigeon, are you there? The Pigeon Master. What's up, Pigeon?
Yeah, it's me, man.
How you doing,
listen,
man?
nobody's had a decent predict.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're cutting
man.
off.
Listen, nobody's this, bro. Like everybody's been trying. Oh, can you hear me?
You're cutting off, man. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
No. Nobody's had a decent prediction on this Ryan Tank fight for years.
Oh.
It's like a stupid argument, bro.
Break it down, man.
I'll break it.
He's breaking up.
Down
Man.
for you, bro. It is what it is, bro. It's a bit of a Las Vegas fucking money take. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you say it's a Las Vegas money take. So you think this fight isn't on the up and up? You think there's some shenanigans afoot?
Obviously, like it's obviously a money grab. You can obviously hear me. Don't lie. You can hear me. Stop being a moron, bro. You can hear
So who wins? Who wins then?
Stop. I got Ryan in the 8th round, bro.
Oh.
Bro. I think Tank's gonna get knocked out. Yeah.
But hold on. Let me just get back to the panel. Fellas, can you hear Pigeon?
It's you who's got the bad connection, not me.
Yeah,
bro.
I can hear him, but he's breaking up.
Okay, I think it's
now I can hear him. Yeah.
I think it's because I boosted the volume I had to boost the volume because you sound very low, so I had to boost it up. I think that maybe that's what's causing. Your connection is drunk as well, man.
Yeah, listen, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, this connection is probably crazy, but
Not as crazy as you.
I think it's going to be very different to what people. Well, but there you go. But I'm old, so it don't really matter if I'm crazy. So I don't care. But
you're not crazy like a fox. You're crazy like a pigeon.
Facts, and like it is what it is.
Okay, but we're running out of time here. We're running out of time here, Pigeon. So let me ask you this though: who are you rooting for? We know who you're picking, but who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Ryan to knock him out, bro. I don't like Tank Davis at all, bro.
Why is that?
I want Tank Davis to get rinsed. Why?
Yeah.
He's a self-righteous piece of shit, bro.
Oh.
I want him to get knocked out. Yeah.
There you go, man. There you go. By the way, are you gonna
like him, bro?
Did you drop by White Rapids today? Because I see he's on right now.
Yeah, I go to White Rapids all the time, bro. So like he lets me on, so it is.
No, but I asked, have you been on? Have you been on today?
Oh yeah, I've been on today, bro. I was on there for about an hour or some shit like that. Like I just always flip about, bro. I'm one of those guys, you know.
Hey, listen.
If you think it's like if people think Ryan Garcia is gonna be a walkover in this fight, bro, you're in for a shot, bro. If you think Ryan Garcia's turning up to that fight, if you think Ryan Garcia's turning up, yeah.
One thing I know about you, Pigeon, and everyone knows it, whether you get the pick right or wrong, you always show up the next day and you always bring it. So we got to give a shout out to the Prince Pigeon, the Prince of Pigeons. Always controversial, disliked by many, loved by few, but respected by all. That's the Pigeon credo. All right, well, listen, Pigeon, we're just about done here, man. So any last words you want to say before we move on?
I'm just going to go and get some tequila and get pissed, bro.
Oh, please. Just go to sleep, man. Don't go get more alcohol, man.
Get two bottles.
I'm just gonna go and enjoy my night, bro. Look after yourself.
Isn't it like 4 a.m. over there?
It doesn't matter what time it is, bro. I finished work about 6 hours ago, so I'm out for the count.
Did
bro.
I predict the BDA? I said, "What does that mean?" He says, "That means." He said, "It means nothing to him."
All right. Well, listen, Pigeon. Thank you for your call, man, and we'll catch you on the next one, man. Enjoy the fight this Saturday.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. That's what I'm telling you. It's fucking 4 a.m. over there. He's closer to the end of the beginning of the day than the. Anyway, whatever, man. Shout out to the Pigeon Master.
It means nothing to him. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Shout out to Prince Pigeon for calling in. I was gonna say that the other fight of the Saturday, it's gonna be, like I said, Joe Cordina versus Rakimov. That's gonna be a good one. I don't know who to pick in that one. Like Cordina can crack something awful, but then again, I don't know how he fights in the pocket. I don't really like.
He's
his
wide
work
open.
rate.
He's wide open. He can punch though. That's the thing. Cordina.
Yeah,
That's how you say it? Cordina. Okay.
Cordina.
Yeah, I've been watching some highlights of him. Boy can crack, man. He got some power.
Just the highlights. What did I just say? I just finished doing a 5-minute rambling about lambasting people for only watching the highlights, and then you go, see, that's how Recognize flexes. He's like, he hears me say that, and he says, yeah, I saw the highlights, so he's almost baiting me into a fight or something.
Listen, man, we discussed our contract agreement, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck,
you gotta let me know these topics before, you know?
like the judge that Gonzalo tried to invite, and he's like, yeah, just give me the questions ahead of time. I was like, what? What do you think this is, Larry King? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, Recognize has privileges now here. He gets to decide. He gets to call some of the shots now. Shout out to Pat's Nation for his contribution with the super chat. He says, where is it? He says, the fact that Tank couldn't bully LEO, why the fuck do people think he's going to bully Ryan? I honestly don't understand these Tank fanatics. Okay, by Leo, he means Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, he had to step it up, man, to stop Santa Cruz. That's the other thing that I tell people is, yes, I think Santa Cruz is better schooled than Ryan Garcia. Just the way he's on balance, the way he puts his combinations together. But Ryan Garcia isn't that far off skill-wise. And on top of that, he can hit harder and he's faster. So like I said, the fact that his skills aren't that much inferior to Santa Cruz and the fact that he's bigger, stronger. Like I said, listen, yeah, skills pay the bills, but we've seen plenty of fighters that got skills and they got no talent and they don't make it in boxing. So if you really want to be the best, you got to have the best of both worlds. And I think that's where Ryan Garcia comes close. He's not the best skilled master out there, but he makes up for it with the talent.
Found out, right? Roy Jones found out when he fought Tarver.
Exactly.
It's like, I may not be as skilled as you, brother, but I'm bigger than you. And that's what I got going for me.
Well said, man. Well said. Well, listen, I guess we're almost at the 4-hour mark here. I said we were going to go on for 15 minutes. We went way longer. That's the way we do it over here. We do what we feel like. And who can stop us, right? What, YouTube? You think they're going to stop us? Who else is going to stop us?
We can't be stopped, man.
The thought police? Yeah, exactly. You know, we got an open...
When you think when you stopped us, we come back. That's
exactly. We got. Hey, listen. I've said it before. Open door policy here. You want to call in? You want to be in the chat? StreamYard? Whatever. No excuses. Anyway, enough posturing from my end. Thank you guys for being on. I'm back to being the magnanimous host, Mr. BDA, the nice host. So thank you guys for being on. Really appreciate it, man. Shout out to everybody that stuck here for the 4 hours, almost 4 hours. We did 3 shows in a row. Tried to give people a little bit of everything. You know, we covered the fight visually. We focused one episode alone on who has the better characteristics. Today, we let you guys call in. And then on Friday, we're going to let you guys call in again, this time on the Discord. Open panel. That's right, panel. It's going to be pandemonium, I expect. A lot of chaos. A lot of salty language spread all around. So shout out to you fellas. Listen, shout out to the boxing chief who was here earlier. Jimmy was here as well before he had to go meet with his financial advisors. You know, Jimmy, he's loaded. I mean, he's buying, he's like George Soros, man, and Bill Gates. He just buys property all over the world. And I think he's also working on some sort of vax, he said, so that everyone in the world is going to be able to talk with that Boston accent of his. So he's got big...
He's buying some farmland, too. That's what I heard. He's buying some farmland.
Is that right? I got to talk to Jimmy about that. But shout out to Jimmy, who was here earlier, boxing chief as well. Of course, Recognize Gonzalo. You guys stuck around for the long haul. Shout out to you. Who else? Everybody that donated via the super chat. Prince Pigeon, who just called in via the StreamYard. Everybody that called in. Arm in the chat says BDA boxing can't be stopped. Second Renaissance, another story. Well, we had to actually euthanize. We had to euthanize that channel. Otherwise, it was going to get us in trouble here on BDA Boxing. So, hey, listen. Now that you mention it, Rumble, probably going to go live tomorrow. We have to, because we haven't been on for a couple of days. And if anyone's interested in our Second Renaissance show, which is non-boxing, you can check us out on Rumble here for the live shows. And then you can check out the YouTube Second Renaissance, which is mostly shorter videos. I'm going to post the link for that one as well. So shout out to you fellas. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Whew, I'm running on fumes here. I got to go eat. I got to go chow. Get some chow. So shout out to you fellas. Thank you for joining us. BDA. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So again, shout out to you fellas. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to Parkour, Marcy D, Pat's Nation, El Único Cocho, Weedy Gonzalez, Norman Louis, Nes Mendoza, Sam Rando, Arm, the aforementioned Arm Exponer, Ray. Who else was here? Pat's Nation, So Passive Live. Knockout Ned was here as well. Shout out to Knockout Ned. Julio was here. Jet Kyle was here as well. Shout out to Jet Kyle. If I missed anybody, Jesus M, Campos Vasquez, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll catch you on Friday. And we'll see you on the next one, fellas. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.
Because you got nothing. I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need BDA Boxing.